Alright. Think we're good to go. What is up, Gaming Rift? Alrighty. More people rolling in. Yeah, so while we're waiting, I guess, what are people's thoughts on Star Wars The Phantom Menace? Because I rewatched that recently. And we watched it together, so we decided, yeah, we'll make this a topic. Are you making the claim? Indeed I am. Don't know about terrible, but it's not good. Well, stream should be open. Are you a prequel hater? Cause that's low IQ, not gonna lie. Well, you're free to try changing our minds.
Alright, I'm back.
We just got called low IQ for hating on the prequels.
Alright, okay. What the fuck is... Knight, what's your disagreement?
What?
I was just listening for real.
Okay. That was annoying.
Oh damn, that was cruel. All right, well, yeah.
If you want to just listen, it's called click the stream. You know, give some ad revenue to our boy SK.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Exactly.
we'll let in the first person. Move.
We're
to
low
chat
IQ
room.
for not liking the prequels. That's wild.
Yeah. All right. What is up, Razvin Hardcore? Alrighty, that's a goodbye. That's a goodbye.
Alright. Alright, I-Man, what's your disagreement?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
He sounds a little Russian. Is this the guy from, like, last time?
Well, I recognize the name. I don't know if this is a troll or not. This might be a troll.
This is probably a troll. Alright, brother.
No. I would never. My disagreement is, how do I put this in words? 6, 7.
Yep, that's a troll.
Wow, what a great
If I
start.
yeet you, don't come back. All right? Because I'll block your number. I don't want to have to do that, right? I don't want to have to do that.
Alright, what do we do in the meantime? Seems like there's barely anyone.
Let's make it clear,
Nobody
right?
wants to
If
know why the
you
prequels are not well written.
you need to establish what happens if someone calls in regarding certain topics.
Oh, yeah,
For
okay.
this stream.
I'm going to be straight up. If I see you come in here and I hear the words Superman 2025, any of the Spider-Man movies, or Arkham Knight, I'm banning you. I'm sick of that. We're not fucking talking about that.
What are you
Please
talking
get
about?
new material. Please. Alright, no pro 85. What's your disagreement?
Hello. So I will admit I have not watched Phantom Menace as recently as you have. I watched it about 2 years ago when it was released in theaters, but I just want to say Phantom Menace is bad. I will concede on that, but it's not that bad. It's not like the worst Star Wars movie ever made or anything.
You know what? It's worse than The Last Jedi.
I'm not even saying Last Jedi. It's like if you think Phantom Menace is worse than Rise of Skywalker, you're out of your fucking mind.
I mean, I think The Last Jedi is worse than Rise of Skywalker, so by default, yeah, I think it's worse than Rise of Skywalker.
Huh.
But why is Phantom Menace bad? Exactly.
Alright, so let's start with the main plot of the movie. So apparently what happens is the Trade Federation go to Naboo and they cause this blockade, right?
Yeah.
So let's get this straight. It says in the text crawl that essentially the Republic are all like in the Senate debating if this is okay to do, to like cause a blockade like that, like without any real reason given. So with that being said, why is it not in the system of the Republic that the Trade Federation has to request a blockade to the Senate first? Because the Senate is willing to sit there and debate for a long time to investigate possible invasions on other planets, but they will not have a debate about if it's legally okay for someone to just blockade, like a corporation to blockade another planet.
That's fair. Honestly, my closest thing is
Okay,
like, oh,
so the
Trade
entirety
Federation,
of the main plot of the movie is based off stupidity.
Okay, I was gonna say, like assuming in best case possible, maybe like, oh, the Trade Federation's small, they slipped under the radar. Not.
That's not true at all. The Trade Federation is like one of the biggest megacorps out there. They have an army bigger than a planet.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. Yeah. Then yeah, it should not. Then yeah, that makes no sense.
Okay, so you think it's worse than Rise of Skywalker?
No.
Okay, why not?
Does Phantom Menace have fucking world-breaking implications? Like fucking.
Yes,
like
the
fucking
Republic
Palpatine
is allowing corporations to go ahead and blockade planets, and no one talked about it till recently. That's how the Empire happens.
Does Phantom Menace have Palpatine fucking lightning nuking entire fleets?
It doesn't have to.
I mean, I think these issues are unique in the sense that this is how the OT happens.
Yeah, bro. It happens because, oh, I should turn that off. That is annoying. The entirety of the OT happens because the Republic doesn't have basic laws to restrict corporations from having absolute power. To even the most basic degree, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't allow them to, blockade planets without a good reason. This is like if you allow a police force to go out there and like literally completely forcibly remove residents out of their own home without a proper due process or a warrant or anything. Like that would never happen because that's stupid.
Maybe the leadership hasn't thought of it yet because they elected a child in the office.
Oh, that's another one. Well, why is a 14-year-old allowed to rule an entire planet?
That is true. That is true.
All right, so it's worse than Rise of Skywalker.
Okay. So I would maybe I would need to rewatch both films back to back and see, but I don't see why not.
I'm fucking with you. It's not worse than Rise of Skywalker, but it's still bad.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing it's bad. I'm just saying, like, it's not the worst Star Wars film.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's agreement.
Okay.
We don't want agreement day. We want disagreement day.
All right. Okay. That was my disagreement. I'm just happy to be on the show. All right. Bye.
Alrighty. Take care. All right. Zaya has to have something new. Zaya.
All right, Zaya.
You're on the line. What's your disagreement, and tell us why.
Hello. Not sure if you remember me, but we debated once over Lex Luthor.
All right.
I think we need to not remember that before I start hitting block because there's no Superman 2025 discussion today.
Okay.
I mean ban, not block. Same
Okay,
difference,
well that's
remember.
not why I'm here. Don't worry, that's not why I'm
goodness.
here. Okay.
Thank the stars.
So the reason why I'm here is because I saw the title on your YouTube video where you said that the Phantom Menace was terrible. I wanted to know why before I point out why I think it's great.
All right.
Wow, okay.
Well, what do you
Finally.
think about the points we raised regarding the blockade, or the fact that a 14-year-old is able to run an entire government system?
And by 14-year-old, you mean Padme?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut off for a second. By 14-year-old, you mean Padme?
Yes.
Yes.
So a couple of things. One, that's actually not abnormal for a 14-year-old to run the government. That's actually kind of common
You're not even
for
old
a
enough to
younger person.
vote at that age.
Well, comment for
Right,
what?
but yeah, but you know how you learn in history that like there are like kings and queens that are like 10 or they're like kings and queens that are like babies and things like that because they're like the heir to the throne or whatever.
In like
Um
what civilizations are we talking about?
Great Britain. I don't remember her name, but I learned in my history class that she was considered the queen when she was like a newborn. She was like 2 years old or something.
Yeah, but was
But
she
it was
making actual governmental decisions in those ages, or was she just considered? Because there's a difference there.
I think she was just considered the queen, but
Yeah, you
yeah,
could be considered the queen, but not make the actual governmental decisions because you're not old enough.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But even if we ignore like her being a 14-year-old making all the governmental decisions, I don't really view that as an issue because this is a fictional story, so I didn't really mind like a 14-year-old making decisions with the government, things like that, since
Why would
it's
the
Star Wars
government
and
in this
everything.
universe run
Well,
the government this way?
the problem is the world building. So, firstly, we can agree that most systems in the galaxy are under the Republic, right? They follow under the Republic. The Republic that can
Yes.
also create laws and expectations for how things are run across the entirety of the galaxy overall. Firstly, why would the Republic be okay with people that are not even of age to vote to control an entire planet? You know, a planet with valuable resources like plasma, mind you, a pretty high level planet. It's not like it's some low run in the mill shit planet that the Republic may like ignore. Naboo's pretty important.
Okay. I haven't seen Phantom Menace in a bit. It's been like a year since I've seen it, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure the reason why Padme was made the queen is because someone before her was like a relative of hers. So by right, she became the queen. So I think
Yeah,
whether
but
the
she's
Republic.
also allowed to make governmental decisions is the issue.
Right. But if you've been around your mother for a while as being queen, you don't think you were like pick up on a few things that a normal person wouldn't pick up on? Like, say you didn't go to school, right? And you're like with your parent or and things like that, and they like share your things are done and things like that. Sure, a normal kid wouldn't be able to do that, but a person that's been like raised by like someone that's under authority would know more than your average 14-year-old.
We
That's
could
how I view
also
it.
we could also agree because of of how brains are developed in all humans. The less mature you are, even biologically, the more susceptible you will be to things like manipulation, coercion, rash decision making inherently.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So you see why it's stupid that a 14-year-old would rule an entire fucking planet, and the Republic allows that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But that's just my personal thoughts about it. Even if you're at a certain age, if you're raised a certain way, you think differently from most people. Like, sure, there are going to be other things you don't know as a 14-year-old, but in that specific topic, about how to rule like a whole galaxy and things like that, I can kind of understand how she could rule an entire government in that context.
In what context?
Her ruling the galaxy, her being the queen.
Wait, what? Yeah, in what context do you think it's fine or makes sense?
Her knowing how to run a government, like how she makes decisions and things like that. Like out of context, yeah, it's a little weird that a 14-year-old would be making decisions for the government, but in context, once you learn like her background and things like that, it makes a little bit more sense, is what I'm saying.
No, at most you're making an argument that would show that she is capable of doing it, but my point is the logical deduction of why that wouldn't be allowed in a greater republic. Keep in mind, Padme has the ability to vote a no confidence on the Supreme Chancellor. A 14-year-old holds the power to basically take away the power of the Supreme Chancellor of the entire galaxy. And she's not even mature enough to drive.
Well, there are people that are 14 that can drive. I'm not saying it's right, but it is possible.
Yes, but they shouldn't drive, should they?
They should not, no.
Yes, just like how a 14-year-old, even if they are capable of being, smart enough to make decisions in the Senate, shouldn't overall because of the high risk factor of allowing someone who isn't fully mature to make decisions on the entirety of a galaxy.
In fact, it's actually the reason why Palpatine becomes Chancellor, because he manipulates the Queen to voting no confidence for Valorum.
Yeah, Palpatine's like, wow, let me manipulate this child because I'm evil.
Oh, hey, Skids. I watched a few videos of yours. It's nice having you here. You might not know me, but I watched a few videos of yours. Great hearing you.
Oh, thank you.
All right,
problem.
you want to move on from the, No, sorry, that was rude of me.
It's cool.
Were you
It's cool. I shouldn't have changed topics. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. You want? I feel like that's all we have to say about the 14-year-old Padme shit. Anything else you want to talk about? Like, I'll lay down a few more criticisms. I already talked about. He's 5 years older than Anakin. It would be good.
Before you lay out
Oh my gosh.
criticisms or try
Sorry.
to think of criticisms, would
Shut
you
up
like
with
to
that.
hear what I like about the movie, so I can like help you like make a point about your criticisms? Would that help?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so the reason why I like the Phantom Menace is because the reason why I like it is because it's different from like the original trilogy. Like, while the original trilogy was like action heavy and things like that, fighting in the space and things like that, the prequels was like more of a character study, which is my favorite type of stories. Like, I like how Qui-Gon was characterized. I like how he's like morally gray, like he breaks the rules and things like that, but he does what's necessary to do what's right. I also like his dynamic with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan doesn't agree with Qui-Gon because Qui-Gon doesn't follow the rules, and like Obi-Wan's like the good student, things like that, wants to do everything right. And even though he doesn't agree with Qui-Gon, I like how he does respect him and ends up trading Anakin later. So I thought that was great. I
Also,
thought
Qui-Gon exhibits traits that Ben Kenobi will later have. Like, he's the one who says the line about a certain point of view, which is what Ben uses in Return of the Jedi.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. What did you say?
I was saying, there's also something I like how they use Qui-Gon, like as a earlier kind of version of Ben Kenobi. Like, he says the line about a certain point of view. I don't remember the exact context, but he uses that, which is something like Obi-Wan will later use in Return of the Jedi. I think that was neat.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that. So the fact that you pointed that out really adds some more perspective. So thank you. I also thought Anakin's setup to become Darth Vader was really good. A lot of people say that the prequels waited to Revenge of the Sith to like have him become evil, and I don't think that's necessarily true, because if you watch the prequels, if you watch Phantom Menace, Yoda says fear leads into anger, anger leads to hate, and hate ends to suffering. The fear is
I don't know if I
Huh?
agree with Anakin. I think that's another critic. I think Anakin is kind of poorly handled in the Phantom Menace overall.
Oh, how so?
I think he has traits of a Gary Stu.
Gary Stu. I know what that is, but how do you think that applies to Anakin? Because I actually heard that argument before.
Well, what a Gary Stu, Mary Sue is basically a character that is way more capable
I
than
know
they
what that
realistically
is.
should
I was
be.
saying,
Right?
why do you think he's a Gary Stu?
All
Is
right,
what
so I think the easiest example is the fact that he was a good enough pilot to handle what happened in the space battle in the end of the movie and wasn't just immediately shot down. I think that's massive plot armor.
Well, hey, but Liam, it's just like pod racing.
No, it's not. It's not. Pod racers don't fly. They're ground vehicles. They're like hovercraft thingies.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of agree with you there. Anakin flying in space is a little weird for someone his age. Like, I know that it worked with like vehicles like pod racers and things like that, but the fact that he was able to fly a whole ship in space, which works completely differently from a normal pod racer, is a bit crazy. Like, that's like saying, oh, we used to ride cars for a living, so now we can work with flying cars or planet things like that. So yeah, I can agree with you there.
Also, they don't show any character flaws that Anakin exactly has in that movie. Like, as far as that movie goes, he's a nice, kind-hearted kid who always wants to do the right thing, and there's no real nuance to it at all, which makes it even weirder because he's literally a slave in the movie. So
Yeah.
you'd expect him to have a more negative outlook of things, you know, have a temper or something like that. But no, he's just kind of a flawless, innocent little kid. And
Yeah.
like, there's points where it just flat out doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it would have been better if he were like a teenager, like what a lot of people suggest. So that way we can see more of those traits, which will, like, of course, set up him turning to the dark side better. Because
Or they could just write him more nuanced as a kid. Kids could get angry, selfish,
yeah.
you know, immature. It's just weird how they handle that.
Yeah, especially
I think
since,
Anakin was kind of way too one note. He was too innocent. He's like, oh, it's innocent little kid Anakin. Oh, don't you feel bad? Because that turns into Darth Vader when it's like, okay, but that's not nuanced. He's supposed to be a character, right?
Yeah, they don't really have much of a purpose to have him in the story besides setting up that Vader's a thing. But they really don't do anything with the setup. It's just, oh, he was a kid.
Yeah, he's almost literally just there for the sequel,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
yeah, and it's weird because he's basically a complete psychopath in Attack of the Clones. It's not just the men,
I hate them.
but the women and the children as well.
It's all Obi-Wan's fault. He's holding me back.
Well, I'm not gonna get to Attack of the Clones since the disagreement is about Phantom Menace,
I
but
know. Yeah, I know. We were just kind of I was just trying to just provide why he would have been better in this movie.
I say I'm gonna ask you about one more criticism. Then I would say we move on to the other people that are waiting.
oh,
That's
do
good.
you mind if I talk about Anakin first before we go to the
Oh yeah,
next
that's
one?
fair. My bad. Yeah. no,
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I used to be around kids growing up. And while I do agree that kids can get angry at times, there are also kids out there that are like pure and kind-hearted and things like that, and their flaws don't really develop until they're like older. I know because that's how I was growing up as a teenager. Because when I was younger, my mom used to say, "Oh, what happened to you? Why are you acting like this? When you were a kid, you were perfect, but now that you're a teenager, you're like wilding out at things like that." So it is different for some kids. And as far as Anakin being a slave goes, yes, he was a slave, but I think the reason why he managed to hang on to that is because he wasn't just a slave like the way the African Americans were slaves. And before you say anything, no, I'm not being racist. I'm also African American. But anyways, he was
Just,
being
I
racist.
want to stop you there real quick. Anakin literally talks about how he essentially witnessed someone's head being blown up for trying to escape as a slave.
Yeah, but if you have someone raising you, like your mother, don't you think they can like, if they're like there with you, don't you think they can like maintain your mental state in a way?
Not to the degree where he's almost perfectly fine. No way. Especially when it's in a planet where it's okay for criminals to run loose, and that you and your mother have a bomb planted in your head, and in an early age you witness someone's head getting blown up in front of you. I think that would do something to him.
Yeah, he almost, like, comes across as nonchalant about it.
They blow you up, boom! Like it's some fun thing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
And this guy,
It's so crazy.
this guy is psychopathic if you think about it.
He's always been a psychopath, I guess.
Hey, this does set up Attack of the Clones. This does set him up for Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, SK, were you talking?
No, I was just laughing.
Okay. I was just gonna say, like, I think the reason why she's able to go through that is because, like I said before, his mother was with him, and the reason why he empathized on that point is because, you know how when Anakin's mother was leaving, realizing that he couldn't go with him, he was acting like completely differently. Like he was starting to get scared, and like the Jedi Council like viewed that as like a bad sign because you're not supposed to have attachments as a Jedi. You're trained to be like emotionless because if something happens with that attachment, things like that, that could lead to things going rogue. And that's what led Anakin to the dark side to begin with, because after his mother died, he feared losing Padme, and that's what led to hatred and Palpatine manipulating him, and him eventually becoming Vader.
I mean, yeah, but as the first movie goes, it's just really not well executed that we have this kid without that much distinguishable character flaws, especially with the stuff that he goes through. And I know you tried to, bring up like, oh yeah, kids usually don't develop their flaws until later. I don't agree with that at all. Kids always have some kind of flaw. They're either extremely way too naive, they have a simplistic view of the world, or they're like just flat out like scared, cowardly even. Like there's a lot of traits you can always derive because everybody in the world is flawed. It doesn't matter what age you're at. Besides babies, because they don't do anything but like their natural instincts, which you could just call a flaw in of itself, technically. But like, even setting that aside, I think the issue is the movie doesn't use any of the potential flaws that he could have at that age. It's like, is he naive? Maybe, but they don't really point out like that as a negative trait in the movie. Every time he does something naively, it usually ends up in a positive outcome, which is a Gary Stu trait. Like, oh, he thinks he can like fly because he did the pod race, he thinks he could fly a ship and like, maybe help the good guys. And it's like, yeah, he can, I guess. Somehow he just did that, right?
Yeah, I can understand that to an extent. I don't want to spend too much time on this because you pointed out that there's someone else in the waiting room. So would you like to move on to your next criticism or your final criticism?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do one more and then I say we move on. So, so the plan of Viceroy Gunray and Palpatine for the Naboo part of the story is to get the Queen, Queen Amidala, to sign a treaty that they can legally own a planet, right?
I remember that.
So, just inherently, that doesn't make any sense because any basic form of legality will just tell you that if you sign something out of like exploit or coercion, it doesn't count. Like, for example, I can't go to SK. I can't get like me and my friends get AKs, go to SK's house, stand around his house with SK, and like intimidate him and go, sign this treaty that I own your YouTube channel. And then, because if I do that and I actually go to a court and they figure out and they know what happened, which they should, they would never ever allow that. They'll go, no, you don't own his YouTube channel. You put a gun to his face. You sent a mini army on him. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if they did that, the Republic would immediately go, that's clearly illegal. And they just wouldn't ever allow that to be an actual real signature.
Yeah, well, Liam, I think we could do that because League Entertainment's the strongest army in the world.
True.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Okay, so
The Confederacy of Independent Leaguers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question. Do the people that are getting the treaty from Padme know that Palpatine is forcing her to do this? Because based on
There's
what I
an
remember,
army on her planet.
huh?
There's an army on her planet.
Right, but is the army gonna be with her 24/7? And also, people don't know.
No, the army is in Naboo, and communications on Naboo were suspiciously cut off. And that should already be enough evidence that they're invading the planet. Because why else would the communications suspiciously be cut off with a with a blockade without any like real explanation why the blockade's even happening? And then suspiciously, some of the droids and the armies are on the surface of the world.
That
Like,
is
I'm sorry, if the
suspicious.
Republic can't figure out that that is an invasion, then the Republic is fucking stupid. That is obviously an invasion, and this would be through eyewitnesses of 2 non-biased sources being 2 Jedi. That are people that are literally trained to keep their bias and their feelings aside. Plus, the Queen herself would be saying this. Everyone that works for her would be saying this if they didn't kill all of them, and if they did that, they would get in trouble with the public, because, oh shit, they're dead. So, if she signs the treaty, what are they gonna do? If they let her go, she's gonna prove that they invaded her planet, which is easy enough to do. And if they kill her, then she's dead. And it's like, where the fuck is she? And then they would once again go, that's suspicious. We need to find her to make sure that the signature is real, right? Either way, there's no way that Viceroy's getting the planet. So what the hell is he trying to do with the treaty?
And you're saying that this wouldn't work because you can't coerce someone to sign something, as the example you're pointing out with SK?
Yeah, because they're doing that to make sure the Republic back off so they own Naboo. That doesn't make any sense. The Republic would have more reason to attack if they're coercing a signature.
But who would they be attacking, though? Because remember,
The Trade Federation. The Droid Army.
Right, but who's behind the Droid Army is my question, because even though we know Chancellor Palpatine is behind it,
The Trade Federation.
we don't
Viceroy
know
Gunray.
Huh?
Yeah, they do. Viceroy Gunray.
Viceroy Gunray knows that Chancellor Palpatine's behind it?
No, he's the guy behind the invasion. He's the Trade Federation. He leads it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, so... Well, what is Viceroy's plan here?
that's a
Like,
good
what does he
point.
expect to get?
Okay, that's a good point. You just said you watched this movie recently. It's been over a year since I've watched it, so if you say that Viceroy taking over or making being behind the Droid Army is incoherent to the plot, then I'll take your word for it since you watched more recently than mine. But I'll try to rewatch it to see if I can like think of something in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on this topic. Even though I don't agree, I respect that you came with some pretty good arguments, and prequel haters usually don't come up with good arguments, but you guys made some good arguments for the most part, and I can definitely understand why you feel this way. So, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
problem.
for
Have
sure.
a good
Great.
one.
Have a good one.
All right, take care.
Great talk. I'll be right back. I need to check on something.
fix
All right,
it.
SK, you carry the next one.
Yeah.
All right,
okay. Also, I have a disagreement. The movie's awesome because Darth Maul has aura.
Darth Maul had
Argue
aura,
against
so
that.
it is
Debunk
good.
that right now.
All right,
No,
I'll see
he
y'all
didn't.
later.
See you later. No, he didn't. Show me that. Show me that
No,
right
you show
now.
me that. You show me that.
Show me that
Like,
right now.
No, you show me that. Like, did you see how cool he was when he activated his lightsaber? God, you can't deny it.
What is up on Star Wars Hour? You're on the line. What's your disagreement? Tell us why.
Oh, hi, what's up? Hey, hi. Hi, Comic
Alrighty.
Your channels,
What's up?
Isn't this guy a YouTuber?
allegedly. Anyways,
Allegedly.
before I weigh in on the Padme stuff, which is kind of what I primarily wanted to do you guys accept, like, extended material? Or, like, legends and shit?
Okay. If you do that, I'm probably the only one that can even somewhat contend. SK doesn't know anything about the
Yeah, I
EU,
don't
and
know
I'm
shit
not
about
gonna
it.
look into-
So I wouldn't be using
Okay.
it at all.
Yeah, I'm casual. I'm kind of casual about it right now, so like I'm not the best when discussing the E EU.
Alright, it's kind of to explain away why Padme was so young when she was elected as queen.
I know there's a book on it.
Yes, like multiple books. One was like a book about Padme, the other one's the Phantom Menace novelization, and the other's like the visual dictionary for the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I know there was a book
so, like-
about like her as a queen or something like that. I've heard it's good. I've never read that one, sadly.
Yeah. Yes, this is pretty good. So, the thing is, like, Padme is not the first or last young child, 14-year-old, whatever, to be elected as queen. And that's also important. Elected. Like, it's not like an inherited position. Like, I know, like, it throws you off by the fact that she's a queen. And that's intentional. And they explain that in the Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, like in the next movie.
What do they
No,
explain?
like it's tradition. They explain that queens are elected and subjected to terms in Naboo.
Yeah, but I think so here's my thing. Why is that age range allowed? And why would the Republic be okay with that? Especially that she can influence the Chancellor.
Well, the thing is, it's more of like a cultural tradition, as explained in like the books I mentioned. The Naboo people elect younger women because they believe they possess pure childlike wisdom that made them better and less corrupt. You could argue that makes them more susceptible to like corruption and influence. But that's the
Yeah, why would the
tradition.
Republic be okay with that?
Well, how would the Republic be with it? Okay. I honestly don't know, but my best guess is that the Republic serves more like a union instead of like an actual like centralized government, like sort of like the European Union. Like they can make
Yeah,
laws
so-
for like other things, but they can't influence like their constitution and shit.
So would you agree that the Republic can acknowledge other cultural perspectives in other planets, sectors, or whatever, but would have to take that more practically? Like for
Yeah.
example, like I'm assuming that Wookiees, because like they're not as politically aware as like let's say I don't know people on Coruscant, right? Like they just don't allow a Wookiee to just be able to get enough people to veto out the Supreme Chancellor.
I
Because that would
honestly,
make sense.
I mean, I guess. Like, are you like? I don't quite understand. Like, are you calling Wookiees like politically illiterate, or
Well, like
I don't
Wookiees
quite
have
understand.
less knowledge over the grander Star Wars galaxy than people on Coruscant, for example, because Wookiees usually are more based on very specific areas, mostly Kashyyyk. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get something to eat real quick. I'll be right back. Someone else talk
Yeah.
first.
You do
Alright.
that?
Well, I mean, we
Yep.
can't speak on the EU, so
So how about something else? Anything else you
Okay.
disagree on? Something else that we could talk about?
Yes, the Anakin thing. Like,
Alright.
How
the
about
thing we
it?
do have to understand about Anakin, though, is that, like, yeah, in this movie, he isn't really shown to have much flaws or, like, much complexity or nuance to his character. However, I'd like to put forward the idea that, like, it's the part one in the trilogy, and you're supposed to view the story arc as a whole. Like, Phantom Menace
Sorry
is
about
just
that.
the beginning.
I've returned.
Of,
Where?
okay,
Yeah.
Where were we, guys?
Okay, well, we were trying to change the topic. He was talking about child acting.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It's on you where you want to go from here. Whatever topic you want to talk about.
I'm kind of already getting the ball rolling with Anakin, so I'll concede to your point with Padme. Anyways, I do think it's kind of unfair to write off Anakin in The Phantom Menace as having like no flaws or complexity or nuance to his character, because it is the beginning of his character arc. Like it's a 3-movie arc that starts in Phantom Menace, ends in Revenge of the Sith. Like the traits that you establish, like that are established, like how he's like kind of unfazed by his childhood friend being blown up, like in the head.
It wasn't a friend. It was a random slave.
A random slave. Yeah, sorry, I haven't watched the movie in a bit. Anyways, yeah, like that does kind of suggest something that he's seen it more than once, and that he's like sort of desensitized to it. And
Yeah,
and like the joke
But-
you made
and-
earlier about him being like a psychopath.
that was actually my point, though. Like being desensitized to extreme violence like that should affect a child's development, and you know, a lot of that would come to like a lot of negative traits too. But that's not in the movie.
Yeah, not in the Phantom Menace like explicitly, but yeah, I do agree. And
Yeah.
they actually kind of do manifest in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith when he commits 2 genocides.
Yeah, I'm okay with Anakin being really fucked up in you know, the other 2 movies under the context that we understand. It's just weird because the first movie doesn't communicate that very well. If you want me to go further, the reason why a lot of people that hate on the prequels say like, oh my god, it's dude, he's killing children. What the fuck? That's out of character. is because the Phantom Menace made him seem so innocent and unaffected from whatever his experiences there that people don't really, associate the fact that he should be desensitized to it. If anything, I think it's a course correction that he kills the women and the children of the Tusken Raiders and clearly doesn't care. That's actually a course correction. I think that makes sense if you understand Anakin's development and how he grew up. I don't have a problem with him doing that. But in the Phantom Menace, my problem is like they don't show any of these negative traits. They make him seem too innocent and perfect.
Yeah, so it just kind of makes it less believable that he would turn to the dark side if slavery has had no impact on his life or his outlook on it.
And about it being a first movie in the trilogy, I do want to point out Luke was very flawed in A New Hope. Luke had a lot of character flaws.
Yeah, that's true. I also do kind of concede to the slave thing. That is something that kind of just didn't really make much sense to me. Like, why he's so innocent and whimsical as a slave.
Yeah, it's very strange. I don't know why George Lucas wrote it that way. All right. So what's your thoughts on the political side of the movie?
Yeah,
I think that stuff is.
I honestly got nothing.
Oh, okay.
Like the thing with like the treaty being coerced in the Senate, that's just kind of ridiculous. Although there is like actual historical precedent from that, it's very infrequent and in this advanced stage of this society would not stand.
Yeah. I think didn't you respond to one of Sheev Talks' videos before? I think I know you from that.
I mean I did, but I kind of like took down the video because I realized, Jesus Christ, what the fuck did I do? Like the video was kind of really bad.
I've never watched it. I just remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I think me and Sheev are cool now, but yeah.
That's good to hear. Sheev's an alright guy from what I've seen.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of your guys' channels too.
That's sick. Appreciate it, yeah.
Alright, this is kind of all I had, like, for now.
Alright. I think this was a good talk. Hope you have a good day, man.
Hope you too, guys. May the force be with you.
Yep.
The Phantom Menace is fucking horrible! Am I right, SK?
Am I right? Can I get an amen?
Can I get an amen?
Alright.
I'm gonna burn the prequels to the ground. Can I get an amen?
Alright, President
I'll be right
Clamp,
back. I'm getting my
you're on the line. What's your disagreement and tell us why?
Oh, hello, SK. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
For a long-time listener, first-time callers, this is pretty cool for me. But
Nice.
Phantom Menace, let's talk about it. So, Phantom Menace is not good. As I said in the chat earlier, it's looking like a 4 out of 10. Pretty bad plot all the way through. Characters are pretty lackluster all the way through. However, one thing I do think the film actually does fairly well, and I will push back a little bit on this, is the actual like political side and like the world building of the Senate and stuff like that. I actually think that stuff is like actually pretty solid. Trying to figure out where I want to with this. I guess I'll just say this real quick. Out of curiosity, how do you take into account like real world like current political system compared to like fictional ones? Like how do you feel about that as an argument?
Well, I try to look at the context of the actual universe we're talking about rather than just looking at what's in the real world, especially since that's like it has very much different history compared to what we have in Star Wars.
It's kind of a slippery slope.
Yeah, I think the most effective way to, I guess, approach it would be looking at the context of the universe and the characters that are present, what the culture is like, what's considered morally, socially okay, that sort of thing, what their goals are. That's what I would put into consideration, less so whether or not it's realistic with actual leaderships in the real world.
I'm completely down with that. Like I'm okay with that as an argument. My thing is though, like there were some statements made, mainly the things about one, the Padme being young for a queen and making diplomatic decisions, and two was the whole element of the vote of no confidence. I'll start with the Padme stuff first. I don't really know. I'm kind of in a bit of a bind because I can't really like. I don't know if there's any argument in terms of like any of the expanded stuff that I can necessarily give you, but I also don't know if the movie needs to go out of its way to explain why Padme is so young as a queen. Like, I don't know how that like would play into like everything in terms of like I just don't see it as like a fundamental issue. Again, there are books for that. There's stuff like that, and for me, when I'm approaching
The
this
reason
stuff,
the reason Palpatine was able to get the role of Chancellor was because he was able to easily manipulate a child.
well, he's
That affects
he's
the main story.
sure, but if you remember correctly, right, his original plan isn't for Padme to go to Coruscant, right? The plan is to force her to sign the treaty. She was never
Yeah,
supposed to escape
but I'm not.
Naboo.
I'm not talking about what his overall plan is in the movie. What I'm talking about is the outcome. The outcome happened because of this world building this world building detail that we're talking about. They need to give us a good reason why
Sure, but
someone
like,
this young and naive and easily
always see-
manipulated
sure.
has that much power.
I just don't know. Like, I feel like, I mean, we see this, like, I just don't know if there's any like adult who would have gone through that and also not have a very similar reaction, right? Like, the Trade Federation literally has a Senate seat in the Galactic Senate. Like, we're talking about a multiple planet corporation owns a seat on the Senate. Like, the wheels of that will just keep on turning. They literally have a spot where they can literally command like actions and stuff like that, and have no issue with like.
Yeah, but that's not the Chancellor's fault.
Right, but what I'm saying though is like, if anyone was in that situation in this particular scenario, right, and they said their planet is being absolutely blockaded, and the Senate is sitting there twirling its fingers because they dare not want to upset the Trade Federation, because there's probably a lot of corporate deals and stuff going on behind the scenes, right? There's a lot of division, things like that. Like, I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know how
I get what you're trying to say here, but I think the key aspect of how the movie explains it kind of debunks this. The movie makes it clear the reason she ultimately made the vote is because Palpatine was whispering in her ear that Chancellor Valorum is probably being paid off by the Trade Federation because he talks to like certain people. It's like, yeah, this guy's from the Trade Federation. Da, da. He's basically manipulating her paranoia.
Right. I just don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't know why
that's the
just
thing. It was her.
Like,
It's her being gullible enough to like easily believe that, when like the Chancellor Valorum has never had any proof of even slightly being paid off, and
but why does
the two Jedi that were sent by him would also just explain that he tried to fix this immediately.
so like again?
There's no
why,
investigation. She made a rash decision.
I just don't understand. Like, why does gullibility link to youthfulness? Like, I don't understand like that idea. Like, anything.
Kids
any
are more
adult
common. Kids are
would have
more
done
common and way more likely to be gullible than adults. And
I mean,
that's really what Palpatine was counting on.
Do you think if an adult was in the situation that she would not have called for the vote of no confidence?
She would have at least looked into it to make sure that Chancellor Valorum was not on her side.
What exactly
Well,
does she
also,
need
like,
to look?
adults are better at taking initiative when it counts.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that on a general basis. Like, that's very character based, right?
Well, kids are
Like,
generally very dependent on, other, like, their superiors.
Right. I just don't know if I'm of the mindset of just using generalizations as like a good argument for anything. Because when you say things like about the vote of no confidence, and like it's kind of ridiculous that she's able to do this. Like, the vote of no confidence is a thing that exists in like many parliamentary and like current governments and stuff like that. Like, that idea is like completely sound. And for a lot of them, it's like they need like a two.
I have no problem with the no confidence being a thing. I have a problem with the Republic being okay with impressionable children being able to do it.
I don't know why that's Republic's like why that's their responsibility of whether or not a child's in power. Like, Naboo has their own laws, right? Here in
Because
America,
they can veto out the Supreme Chancellor. It affects the entire Republic.
Well, to be fair, when you say veto out, they still need a 2/3 majority, right? Like,
Yeah, but the
people have
fact that a child could even possibly influence that is kind of insane. Keep in mind,
has-
another thing about children through a developmental thing that's just natural in the brain is that they
Oh,
are
head out,
codependent on people that they look up to, like a parent figure, parental figures, right? Which is another thing about Palpatine. He can come off more like a father figure and manipulate that. That's at least a possibility.
Gotcha.
Anyone
I
who's
just-
corrupt could do that too. So that's another reason children shouldn't be in this kind of power, especially when this is a more evolved republic in a futuristic space galaxy. I think they would
Sure.
account for things like this
I
and culture.
just don't know. I just don't know if we'll see eye to eye on this point. Like, I just think that like in a world, right, where this exists, like each planet's going to have their own personal laws and things like that dictating like how their elections and stuff are run, right? Like, I just don't know. Like, I don't think the Senate has any authority to just trample over that, right? Like, if it's going through that legal process. Now, if it's illegal, right? Like, if there's something that happened, like a coup or something like that, then the Senate should absolutely act in that regard. But in terms of like,
The Senate has the
culture-
authority to lessen influences on certain sectors and/or planets. They can just do that.
do you have this based in the movie?
Well, this is just how a republic works. They would vote on it, and based off the logical argument, and even what would be beneficial to the overall republic, most people would agree on that. Like,
Sure,
for example, they would go, yeah, Kashyyyk, Wookiees, they're not that politically aware. They're good at technical things like weapons, machinery, stuff like that, but they're not political at all. They're Wookiees. They're more tribalistic kind of characters. We're not going to allow Wookiees or a representative of the leader of Kashyyyk to be able to have as much power as someone in Coruscant, because that's unfair.
My thing is, again, I don't know if we'll see eye to eye on this front. It's gotta, and you should understand, like, it's a little frustrating to bring up examples, right? We're talking about this idea, as SK mentioned earlier, that we are dealing with the ramifications and like the rules set up in the universe, right? Like, we don't need to look to real life thing as being like, to look into it as being like, oh, this is why this doesn't make sense, or so on and so forth. Like, we're playing it with the universe's rules rather than our own rules. We're looking into that. I think what frustrates me is, again, I'm looking for examples from the movie to showcase this being the case, like the Republic and stuff like that, lessening planets. And the argument that you gave was, well, the Republics in like the real world do this sort of thing. Like,
I didn't bring up the real world. I pointed out like what a republic is, which is the same in the movie. A republic has a voting process, and they can dictate how the entire Senate operates. Literally, in the third movie, it turned into an empire because of a vote.
Again, I
So
don't.
if they could do that, they could easily
Right.
veto out certain cultures from
But
being
again-
able to influence the republic.
But again, we still don't know all the intricacies. Like, there are different flavors of a republic, right? Like, there's different types, different flavors of republic we're dealing with. I just don't know what
That is true. I should pick my wording correctly. The Galactic
I don't know what the
Republic.
overall goal is to like compare it to like a real world situation, because then we're kind of in we're kind of in a bit of a losing situation. I feel like we're like, even if I gave an in-universe reason as to why like Padme can be queen at such a young age, and it's supported like in expended material, even if you don't count that, that's fine. Like, but if you are going to take that into account, and then you're told that, and you're given reasons why, and it's justified in the expanded material, and you say, okay, well, they're still stupid because that just wouldn't happen. But then I'm like, okay, well, it's happened in like historical context. There have been plenty of like monarchs and stuff like that all around the world that have had issues like that, especially a lot of Middle Eastern kingdoms. There's a lot of kingdoms in Britain, stuff like that have had those issues. Like, and then it's like, okay, well, we're not taking the look, we're taking the, like, you must understand, like, that's where the frustration, but it's okay. Like, we can move on to another point. Like, I'm not dying on this hill or anything like that. I just find it frustrating that it feels like I'm in a situation where I don't know what angle to tackle this at, where I think ultimately you'll just be dissatisfied, which I don't think that's like a problem or anything like that.
I'll clarify this. So when it comes to real world examples, I'm fine with it to a certain degree. It just it's always dependent on context in the real world, is my thing. When it comes to the expanded universe, I think I made this very clear. I can handle it because I have a decent, at least, knowledge on it, the expanded universe. SK hasn't read anything. That's why I'm saying it's just not helpful, like, because like SK won't be able to get involved or have a piece to say.
Sure.
But
so
all that I'll
logic-
simply say is we're talking about if it's well written or not. If the expanding universe explains this, which I'm pretty sure it probably did, right?
It
Then
does,
like
yes.
fine, like maybe it's a good explanation, maybe it's a bad one. All I'll simply
Right.
say to that is like the film doesn't present any of this, so it's still like not good writing on the film's part or good world building. Because that it's still the
Again,
film's responsibility to account for things that affect the overall story that it's telling in its own film.
Sure. I really don't know what the film could have said or like what. So in your mind, what should the film have done to explain Palpatine's youthful age as Queen? Like, what would have been satisfying for you in that regard?
What does the book say?
Well, the books is, of course, there's like a cultural reason, right? Like the culture of Naboo, they value a lot of youthfulness. They value a lot of the childlike wisdom, as mentioned earlier, I believe by Star Wars.
I got a good
Hour.
one. I got a good one.
Sure.
They could have just explained that they don't like the cultural aspect of Naboo, but the only reason they allow much power is because of a funding reason.
Sorry, say that one last part again.
Naboo has plasma. Just simply say that because of their resources, they're giving an exception to Naboo, despite its cultural flaws.
Sure. I don't, but just again, I just don't think the plasma is plasma even mentioned in the movie as being like a factor, like as like an item that they're wanting. I'm pretty sure that's also an expanded material, right? So,
I mean,
right? Like, am I wrong? Like,
well, that's what
wrong.
I'm saying, though. You can add that in the movie. You could say in the movie that, the reason why we... Like, it could be like a throwaway line in the Senate. They can go, like, Princess Amidala, these claims of yours are really strong. Keep in mind, the only reason we allow you this much influence in our republic is because of your influences to our economy with plasma trade. Pick your words carefully. Because they're going after, she's going after, I don't know, the Trade Federation, right? Like, they could do that.
Sure. I don't necessarily I'm not it's not a hill I would die on or anything like that. Like, I understand the point. I just see it as a case of like, this is like neutral, like writing. I just don't see it as major of a thing, but that's okay.
It's a world building issue. I don't think it destroys the film, but I will say it does affect it a little bit because that's how Palpatine is the Chancellor.
Yes, but like anyone could have, again, he didn't need Padme to do that, right? His plan was to have a vote of confidence no matter what happens.
Oh no, it was his only option at the time. He was trying to get sympathy with Naboo, but ever since the Queen was able to get out of there, he had to rely on her naivety as a child to be able to make a rash decision to get Chancellor Valorum out.
Well, the impression we get in the film is that Palpatine is not actually like on Naboo at the time of the Phantom Menace, right? Like,
no, he's not on. He's on Coruscant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when he finds out that Palpatine, oh gosh, my words. Palpatine, oh geez. When Padme,
I love Palpatine,
is able to escape Naboo, right? Because again, remember the plan was for that's why they sent out Maul, was to kill the Jedi and then have no issue dealing with the Queen. So like again, he does not want Padme to go to Coruscant, but Palpatine's good at working in immediately.
Yeah, because he wants Viceroy Gunray to own Naboo so that it will show how ineffective Chancellor Valorum is. Because like, why didn't you do anything about? They took over the planet, right? And then Sidious, Palpatine, can have sympathy because like, oh, this is my planet. My queen, she's in danger, and then he could just go get her out, get him out. I want to be Chancellor, and then the sympathy will give him Chancellor. But that failed because the Queen got out. They never took over the planet. So this is a last resort option. He's like, fuck it. I gotta play a game of Risk. She's young. Maybe I can manipulate her naivety, and that's how he got it.
Sure. I don't know. We'll see. I don't just the fact I don't know if youthfulness is the reason why he looked at him and was like, I got this. Like, I feel like that would be even if the Queen was like 30 years old, right, or 50 years old. Like, again, I feel like they would have still had no confidence in the Senate after what they saw, considering the fact that the Trade Federation.
It wasn't the Senate though; it was the Chancellor who was also not liking how the Senate was handling it.
Well, again, it's the idea that the wheels kept turning in the Senate that agitated Padme, and the fact that like Valorum really
Well,
wasn't trying.
the reason
I mean,
she made the vote of no confidence is because she took Palpatine's words when he went, "Oh yeah, maybe he's getting paid by the Trade Federation. Chancellor's not doing anything," which is just a rash, emotional decision. She's already upset about them being slow and stupid and not helping her planet, so she just needed an outlet to like, go against. And then Palpatine's whispering in her ears, "Oh, maybe the Chancellor is a Federation's bootlicker," when he's not. And there's nothing to even imply that. She just assumes that because she's in an emotional state, kind of a childish thing to do when you're, a senator.
Sure. I just don't think we'll see eye to eye on like the youthfulness angle, but that's okay. That's fine. I mean, I can still tear the movie apart in like, a bunch of other ways that are like I think like absolutely demonstrable. But I'm trying to think. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I don't want to hog it too much. Is there anything? Because you really haven't. I don't know if we've talked really too much about the movie as a whole. We kind of focus on this one thing. Is there anything else in the movie particularly that you have major like fundamental issues with? Because I feel like unlike other than the politics stuff, like I don't know if I don't know what else your positions are other than Anakin being bad, which I agree with. So
all right, yeah, there's Anakin. Viceroy Gunray's plan is awful, which would include that Palpatine's plan is awful. Yeah, we already talked about that. Was there anything we said about the Gungans? I don't remember. Do you? Okay.
I don't think so.
Sorry, SK, remember anything about? Hang on, let me fix my mic real quick. All right.
Oh my goodness, some serious roboting on my end.
Oh no, SK. Do I sound better?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
That's good. I'm trying to think.
Go
I think
ahead.
there was something with it.
Also, like, I don't really care for the Gungans all that much. I feel like Jar Jar's got massive plot armor, so I mean, I don't feel like we'll have any.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
There. My thing is, okay, here's a question. Because I'd actually be curious to know. How do you guys feel about midichlorians?
I'm fine with it.
I guess it's a thing. It's whatever.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I know some people get really weird about it. Yeah, they just get very weird about it. So, yeah, that's nice. Continue on. I don't know what else. Again, so really,
I think those are just the main things with the Phantom Menace. Like the Phantom Menace doesn't have a million issues. It just has a few really big ones I can think of.
Oh, I got one. How do you feel about Qui-Gon's characterization?
I like them.
It's fine over.
I like Qui-Gon. He's one of my favorites. I think he's a cool character.
How do you feel overall about? I know this has been I think Sheaves brought this up as a points. How do you feel about the idea of the will of the Force? Are you yay for it, nay for it, or just kind of neutral?
I'm neutral.
It's up. I think even in the movie they make it pretty much up to interpretation, if that's even a thing. So I'm fine with it.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm trying to disagree with you so hard. I'm trying, but I'm just trying to find stuff. I mean, the politics stuff. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I guess just keep on listing stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to find stuff.
I do say we move on because I really want to see what Sleaze Bagano has to say. I want to buy some death sticks.
100%. Well, before I head out, again, appreciate you guys talking to me. Appreciate the conversation. Hopefully, I'll be able to join again sometime soon. So
Sounds
again,
good.
Thank you guys. Love you. Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Sleaze.
All right. You want to buy some death sticks? I don't want to buy some death sticks.
I'm trying to think. Like, I guess just keep on listing stuff. I don't know.
Hello, Sleaze Bagano. You are in now. You are in my gang.
Sleaze Bagano has to say.
Well, I am in.
Yep.
100%.
The stream coming from him is so funny. Yeah, I was watching your stream and I was wondering, you guys are kind of on edge right now. You want to get some? Want to buy? You don't want to sell me death
I wish I could do the voice, but I can't.
You want to go home and rethink your life? I want to go home and rethink my life.
Yeah, one of the best characters next to Dexter Jester.
Glup Shido is also a peak character in Star Wars.
Yeah. Or the ice cream machine man. I don't know what his name is.
All right, what's your disagreement?
I just want to get another rundown, like, because Newt Gunray's plan. I know you think it's bad, but exactly why again?
Okay, so obviously Newt Gunray wants to own Naboo, right? So
Yeah.
his plan to own Naboo is to blockade without any due cause and then send an army on the surface of the planet without any permission from the Republic, and then force the Queen, at gunpoint essentially, to sign a treaty. Like, you see why that doesn't make sense, or do we want me to, like, explain even further?
Well, I see your point, but I think the premise of the invasion itself is more so due to they I think the main problem with it is that they're too vague in explaining why he does it, because it's all over shipping routes and like his annoyance over the taxation that the Republic is like giving the Trade Federation. But the treaty itself is to legitimize control of Naboo towards him.
Yeah, but it's through illegal coercion. So that would
I
easily
get
be,
that, but
like, laughed out of any Senate or court.
well, I'm assuming that or at least the movie was trying to say that or that he knows that the Republic has no, how do you say it, like power to even like do anything other than sending Jedi Knights, because they don't have a standing army at the time at all.
Yes,
I mean, the problem.
Yes, the Republic has access to many armies. They just don't have a grand army.
Yeah, I know they don't have a central standing army, but I guess the problem would be that they can't really, or at least that the political indifference in the Senate would not allow them to actuate anything, like get anything moving. Again, I think the main problem is just that the movie's too vague in explaining why they can't like maneuver around Newt Gunray's like blockade, or how they would even.
Well, the blockade. I'm assuming if you blockade a planet or a trade route through a planet, especially a planet like Naboo, which seems to be a more like high quality, rich planet, right, with royalty and stuff. I assume the Republic would want to have a good reason for that to be to allow, to allow any kind of blockade. They need more than just vaguely saying a trade dispute.
I know. I think that's I think that's probably the biggest problem with the plan. I feel like I'm bad at disagreeing here because I'm actually agreeing with you right now. I think the biggest fault of the movie is that it's too vague in explaining a lot of the political, like. I think the movie's like a victim to its own allegory of it trying to reference real world events. I know everybody's been talking about that, and you can't really. Actually, I think you can blame the movie because it expects a lot of people to know what was going around at the time, in America at least. But I don't understand how kids were gonna understand the politics of the Bush era. So yeah, but I think I feel I'm terrible at this disagreement thing because I'm agreeing with you now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for something to say.
Because
I've been carrying this. SK, you go against Sleazebag and out. SK versus SB, go.
What point is being made?
You
gotta figure that out.
I don't think it's. Listen, I think the movie's vague in like explaining why Newt Gunray is doing what he's doing, but I don't think it's a bad plan per se in what he's trying to do.
Get his ass, SK. Your turn.
I barely remember the Newt Gunray shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
SK, it was like what, 3 days we watched the movie?
No, yeah, but like the most I remember was us talking about the blockade, the politics, and Anakin, and the shit with Darth Maul. Like I barely remember the other stuff. Like I'm not gonna lie, I tuned out during those parts.
He blockaded the planet. He said there was Newt Gunray blockades Naboo. He says it's because of a trade dispute. vaguely to the Republic. Then he sends his forces on the surface of the planet. He takes it over through invasion. Then he through gunpoint is trying to tell the Queen to sign a treaty that will make it legal to own her planet. I don't think I need to explain to you why that doesn't make sense, SK. Because if I put a gun to your head and force you to write down on paper that I own your YouTube channel, I'm not getting your YouTube channel legally.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that wouldn't happen. If there's obvious
There you
proof of
go.
coercion, yeah.
Which there would be. There'd be 2 eyewitnesses being the Jedi.
I'm trying to think of how to push back on this. If I remember correctly, they don't immediately, or do they immediately go back to the Jedi Council after their first encounter on Naboo? Because the blockade doesn't happen until not towards the middle, but at least after the first act ends, I think.
No, the blockade is in the start of the movie. It's how the movie opens.
Oh yeah, it's already immediately started, but the only problem
Yeah, and then they invade the planet, right? And then like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are on the planet. They like fight a few droids. They save the Queen. Then they fly away. But the blockade was so strong that like they got shot, so they don't have their hyperspace drive. So they had to go to a close planet nearby, which was Tatooine. And then, in Tatooine, he has to buy a hyperspace drive. Then, and then once he does get it, they go back to Coruscant. But that actually reminds me, I didn't bring this up. That's another big issue in the movie, is that Qui-Gon goes to Tatooine. He goes to fucking Watto, and he's like, I have 5,000 credits or some shit, right? And then it's like, Watto's like, he's like, credits will do fine. Watto's like, no, they won't. We don't have a Republic credits here. This is this is Tatooine. We don't do Republic credits for some reason. Which is dumb, because if you know anything about economics, if you go to another country with money from your country, you could convert it into their funding. Like, I'm in Canada.
Wow.
If I gave
thought that
SK
was
a
dumb.
toonie and a loony, and he's in America, he can go to a bank and go, okay, toonie, I don't want a toonie and a loony. I want $3.
Well, yeah, that's
Game
dumb.
deal-
Even
I
and they
want a
clearly
$1
established
bill.
that credits. They clearly established, at least in the original trilogy, that credits are the universal currency. Even
Yes.
even if Tatooine maybe he's trying to say something that money's no good here. We only operate basically on trading slaves, which I guess is what he's trying to say. But even
Well, he
then, that
wanted
doesn't
some
make sense
other kind of
because-
funding that the Hutts have. I'm willing to accept that the Hutts may have a different economy. Like, they don't exactly use credits, they use some. But the
Oh.
thing
I think they're
is,
like a
I'm sure the
barter
Hutts will be
society.
smart enough to convert it into credits if they left, Hutt space.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so
Plus,
that's how Anakin even happened. That's how Darth Vader happens, is because basic economy doesn't make sense in Star Wars.
You mean in the prequels or in just all of it? Because I don't really think
Yeah,
it makes, it
the
makes
reason
sense in
Darth
the
Vader's
original,
even a
but-
thing is because he's taken out of Tatooine with Qui-Gon, because he meets him, because he couldn't buy the hyperspace drive right away. And then, he becomes the Jedi because of that. So Darth Vader happened because bad economics in Star Wars.
Exactly. That does point to a thing, but I do think that the biggest problem with the Newt Gunray plan is that the off chance that Padme comes back and retakes the city. I'm assuming he was thinking that the droid army was just so big that she would never get back to Tatooine, which kind of puts him at a standstill. Because what the hell is he gonna do?
No, he wants the Queen to come back. He needs the Queen for the treaty.
But I don't know how he expects to, or why he thinks she would even try to come back when there's no.
Sidious
Especially,
tells him.
Sidious tells him.
Darth Sidious says, she's naive. She's like a naive child, and she cares about her people. She'll come back. Just wait.
That's
And then, Newt Gunray being the weaselly little bitch, he's like, okay, I guess I'll just wait here and do nothing for the rest of the movie until the very end. And he just fucking sits there with a bunch of his droids in the planet. And And then, like, then they come back, and then, like, they team up with the Gungans. Then they fucking, ending fight happens. Yeah, I think this is I think this is as far as we can go.
Yeah, I think
thank you so much for coming
I was
on.
terrible at that defense because
I'm not gonna buy your death sticks today. Maybe another day.
Yeah, maybe.
But that
another
was a
day.
decent discussion.
The only thing I will say, speaking the person previously was mentioning the EU, I wouldn't go ahead and count any of that just because even George doesn't see it as a he views it as a parallel canon, not a straight canon with his own films. He acknowledges it, but he doesn't directly. He takes some inspiration from it, like that's where he got the name Coruscant was from the books, but I wouldn't treat it as. Especially
Here's
like
here's what I'm gonna say about the EU, and this is to anyone else who joins. SK forgot what Nuke Gunray's plan is. I don't think he knows much about the EU, guys.
Oh, definitely
so that's
not.
just
Definitely
not fair, bro.
not.
Bro doesn't even give a shit about like Viceroy Gunray's epic Naboo plan, bro. I don't think he's gonna give a shit about some books.
Well, yeah, especially I think even the novelization of the Phantom Menace, I think it's trying to like fix a hole that the movie created, which is why they would let a 14-year-old girl become queen. So they try to give like an explanation by making up this cultural like precedent that did not exist in the movie whatsoever. Because I don't understand, like they never even, like the book says why she became queen, but they have no explanation as why she's queen. Like, or at least not a good one. Why she's queen in the movie? She's just the queen.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna move on to someone else. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks.
Have a wonderful day.
Alrighty. Audacious. Oh no.
Who's this?
I have a feeling.
Skeletor PFP.
Oh, whoops.
Already don't respect it.
Thanks for the heads up, Rift. Let me fix that.
What's going on?
Nah, he said there's a mistake in the thumbnail. So I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Forgot to replace the year.
It just shows your hidden child porn folder out on display. Oh, my bad, guys. Yo, Skeletor, what's your disagreement?
Skeletor.
Well, this I guess thinking it's like 8 to 10 women.
What are you doing? Audacious
Dude,
Joan.
Beat your mom later. We're on disagreement day.
What is going on?
Yo, Skeletor.
What's good with it?
What's your disagreement?
My disagreement. Well, let's see. I want to talk about Batman Begins and Dark Knight.
All right. What's your disagreement?
Well, at least it's not fucking Arkham Knight, so good. For you.
So, tell me what y'all think about this. Do you think that? So, you don't like when the sequels are inconsistent with the predecessor, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna take a piss. You can have this one, Esk.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that? Okay, do you think it's bad writing for the predecessor to set something up, and then the sequel never addresses it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, do you think it was bad writing when at the end of Begins, Gordon and Batman are like, there's a fuck ton of Arkham escapees that are out on the loose, and Batman said we're gonna round them up, and then Dark Knight, it's never addressed.
Yeah, I think that's lazy. I think there should at least be a mention of it, or a scene showing him taking care of it. I mean, to be fair, the opening does show him taking care of a lot of the crime in the city, but still, I would say it's fair that specifically should have been addressed. Oh.
Okay.
There he is.
Okay, I didn't expect that. You know what? I'm gonna let him in. We'll give him a chance. Real quick. All right, Kinoflex, how you doing? What's up?
Hold on. I'm trying to make sure my speaker is working. Look at this real quick. 3:20 mark before we get into, and then we can start the disagreement. I want you to watch this for yourself live.
All right, so you want me to watch a timestamp? Did you link it?
It's in the chat.
Hang on, what the hell did I come back to? Firstly, why is there like 3 people in here?
Kinoflex wanted to join, so yeah. What's this? Where did you link it? Did you link it in the stream chat? Because if you're doing that, I can't see it. So you're gonna have to do it on
in the
Discord.
stream chat. I posted it in the Discord chat we have, or you have here.
The disc. Oh wait. Oh wait. Hold up. No, not here. Are you doing it in disagreement requests?
Oh, just put in disagreement request. Okay.
Yeah, I can't. Sorry, I can't find it.
All right. Just real quick.
All right,
Is Audacious Jones just okay with waiting?
Yeah, I mean, we already went through the point. It's like that was an agreement. So,
All right.
3-minute 20-second mark.
So do I need audio for this? Or hold up, sorry. Do I need visual for this, or can I just play the audio?
Both. It helps with both.
All right, give me a moment then to set this up, because I wasn't expecting to play shit. But that's all right.
That's fine.
Okay. A moment.
Yo, Mr. Flex, how are you doing today?
Oh my gosh.
Let me leave and join again. My speaker isn't working.
Okay, is there anything else you want to talk about Audacious Jones, at least like later on or something? Or are you good?
Yeah, regarding Nolan Batman.
Well, not for that, since we both agree on that. I wanted to see if you were serious about James Gunn's Suicide Squad being broken.
Okay, so how about this? Let's say we're gonna prioritize Kinoflex right now because I think that's
we're
what
gonna.
SK wants.
I'm looking
we'll come back to you. Is it okay if you just wait in the wait room for a little bit, Audacious?
I can't stay.
Oh, what the fuck? He disconnected.
The less.
Yeah, we're gonna get this. He has a bone to pick, so it's like, all right, let's get this resolved. What is he?
I'll be on your guys' side. You know,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, so you said. All right, I have the video up on my end. I'm just gonna play it. So, you said 3:20.
Yeah.
How long do you want me to play it for?
You'll know when to stop, and
I'll know when to stop. All right. So I'm gonna play it, and nobody talk, so I can hear it.
Oh, you're gonna share your screen too, or no?
I am showing it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me look.
I'm showing it on stream.
Wait a sec. Yeah, wait a sec. I want to get on your stream so I can see it. So just give me like. All right, I'm there. I'm gonna go deafen.
All right.
Wouldn't you know it? The very next video I decided to scan through, I found Audrey Noah stealing someone else's script beat for beat and remixing it for himself. The original work was a video called Jezebel's Delusional Supergirl Rant by Sergei Kravinoff. Audrey Noah put the plagiarism in his video Anti-Woke.
Anti-woke hate for Supergirl is laughably petty.
Hate for Supergirl is laughably petty. So let's take a look at the evidence.
So the Supergirl trailer had a variety of reactions, and this was one of them I was suggested to respond to.
Recently, she did a video about Supergirl as well, so let's see what she had to say.
Now it gets a lot worse, so hang on, but...
So just as an initial comment, those seem like very generic openers, so I don't... Maybe he'll have other references, but I don't know, this is a weird thing to fixate on.
Right out the gate, Audrey Noah steals the exact same screenshot from Sergei.
Exact same screenshot. One of these says 6 days ago, the other says 8 days ago. One says... Let me rewind so they're both in color. That one says 51 views.
Recently, she did a video about Supergirl.
This is 53 views. So it's not even the same screenshot. So already, Kinoflex, the video that you showed me is getting facts wrong. Do you have anything to say to that? Now, I am gonna watch the rest, but do you understand this is a flaw already?
Sure. If that's what you think, sure.
Well, are you looking at my screen?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Like, you see, it says, Oddly Noah's plagiarizing me because the screenshot's the same. I checked the screenshots, they're not the same. One says 8 days ago, the other says 6 days ago.
Okay.
So
yeah. you don't think he's plagiarizing you then?
Not right now. He might later,
okay,
but not right now.
Okay. That's fine.
As well, so let's see what she had to say.
Now it gets a lot worse, so hang on, but right out the gate, Oddly Noah steals the exact same screenshot from Sergey. It's the same size and the same crop.
Hello everyone, female Frodo Baggins here. And can you guess my reaction to the latest Supergirl trailer? Hello everyone, female Frodo Baggins here. And can you guess my reaction to the latest Supergirl trailer?
Okay, but this is a trailer, not a movie.
And funny enough, now Jester Bell is doing the exact same thing, talking about the trailer for Supergirl before the movie's even out.
I don't know why so many people on YouTube seem to think that they're time travelers all of a sudden.
I guess Jester Bell must have magically found a DeLorean or something though and traveled to 2026.
So, okay. So is the plagiarism that, they talk about judging things before they're fully out? And, they're talking about, like, using a time-traveling device, like, is that the plagiarism here? That we have similar humor? Or that we made similar points? Because, like, I'm gonna be honest...
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Kinoflex. I'm not saying that, that I think this is plagiarism, but I'm pretty sure this is a point that we made, regarding the Sheev Across the Spider-Verse thing with Peter B. Parker, right? So, I recall last year, or 2 years ago, actually, almost 2 years ago, you joined a stream where you said that I didn't know what plagiarism was, and to be fair, you did retract this, so I'm not, like, using it as a point against you. But you said that I allegedly thought that Sheev took points from Joe, someone named Joe, for using similar arguments or whatever. And you seem to think that we were accusing you of just taking points from Sheev about the whole Across the Spider-Verse thing. But I'm pretty sure we all agreed at the time it's not a bad thing to use similar arguments to someone. That's not really plagiarism. So I'm already confused by this premise, Kinoflex. I'm not gonna lie.
So let me just understand this. Like, taking someone's points, like, beat for beat, that's not plagiarism.
It's not beat for beat, though.
So barely changing the wording though, like that is what would be considered plagiarism.
Okay.
Like,
So
other
let me
scripts.
try to put it this way, right? Chief Talks makes a video on Peter B. Parker and Across the Spider-Verse. He says he's irresponsible with his baby. He says that he thinks Peter's being tasteless in this scene. He's being tone deaf. And then you come on the stream saying the same points, right? But we don't have an issue with that. There's not a patent on criticism. You know, oh, you point out this one issue in this movie. It's like, well, yeah, you don't have a patent on that. You don't own that criticism. And the same thing applies here. I don't think I ever said that I own the joke about time traveling to see if movies are bad. I don't even know if it's my own joke. Like, originally, people might have made the joke years before I did. I just decided to make the joke because it just, it sounded funny.
Well, first of all, first off, like what you're discussing, like me calling into Disagreement Day, that was like a month ago. I think close to a year. I think, like, I don't really remember the details, but bringing up an argument that you argued against in a response video, that's not really the same thing as using that argument and not crediting the person in your separate response video. Like, do you understand my point?
Well, I'm confused, right? So, all it really comes down to is the fact that we're making similar arguments here. That's what this video is showing. Now, could it show something more substantive later? It could, but I'm just commenting right now. This isn't really airtight, right? Like, to give a few examples, right? Comic Legend has made similar points to me regarding the whole Marvel Spider-Man 2 nerfing, right? He's repeated some of my points just because of the fact that we agree on the same point. like the fridge, for example. And he also says he uses the same reaction clips at times where he shows Lucas doing something goofy. I think you've even used some of those clips in your videos as well. I wouldn't say that's plagiarism. I would just say we have because it's a similar sense of humor and it's a similar point.
Yeah,
I
but
think
that's
it would be
objectively not
plagiarism if it was like I don't know, saying it word for word and not changing anything at all. It's like you're literally taking someone's script.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, but since we're both like in the niche of response videos, showing like making it abundantly clear who we're responding to when we show other people's clips or just showing people's reactions, like Lucas, that's not plagiarism. That's not nobody really acknowledges that as plagiarism, but that's not really the same thing as to what Noah's doing. Again, he is lifting other people's points, arguments in his scripts and repeating them while changing the wording a bit. And he has admitted to this on his own channel. He apologized for it.
Okay, so he's admitted to
and
it.
Also,
okay, I didn't see
yeah,
that.
he has admitted to it. Okay, he posted an apology. You can watch that too on his channel.
Okay, that's okay. So that's, I guess, useful context to understand where you're getting at.
And there are prior examples at the beginning of this. If you want to watch that, like I said 320 because that's where the examples pertaining to you.
Okay. Well, here. Okay. So in this video, does it like show that Noah admits to that?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so it showed it earlier. Okay. I mean, I guess in isolation, I wouldn't see these as necessarily plagiarizing, but if Noah does outright admit that he's taking from people's stuff and just rewording it, then yeah, I suppose that so it's a bit lazy. It's not very original.
I'd call it lazy. I wouldn't call it plagiarism.
Yeah, I don't know
because
if I would
you could just say that. You could just say that, like, you know, he's taking inspiration from it in a sense. I would simply say that it's just you're not doing your own active work.
Yeah.
With certain arguments, depending on the argument, by the way. But like, I don't know. I wouldn't call that plagiarism. I think plagiarism would be like outright copying like SK's video, like his content, like
verbatim.
Yeah, like you know, taking my exact
like
script and saying
or if you
everything.
just stole clips from him, or if you stole clips from him, like if you literally like downloaded SK's video and took some points or clips from him that he used, and it's obviously down. Yeah, I would say that's plagiarism because you're taking someone else's work to like add to your own.
Okay,
yeah,
well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I'm happy to go through the rest of the examples, but afterwards, I want to see what you're talking about regarding the admittance of it, just so we have the strongest evidence possible. But like, all I'm gonna say is, in isolation, right? According to everything that I have seen so far, meaning I have not seen this alleged admission, according to what I've seen so far, this just isn't sufficient proof.
Okay, yeah, and if you want to go back to the beginning of this video where he shows the other examples that again he reacted to on stream, like Noah understood that this was bad, that this was plagiarism, and he apologized for it. If you want to go back to the beginning and look at that too,
we'll proceed with the examples and then we'll do that.
Yeah.
Is a James Gunn movie. It is James Gunn through and through, in the same way that all
Mary, you play
movies
the
that
video
come
game?
from
Sorry,
Marvel are essentially
there's a
just
delay
Kevin
on
Feige
my
projects. James Gunn is just hiring yes men to make his project. This is a James Gunn movie. It is James Gunn through and through, in the same way that all movies that come from Marvel are essentially just Kevin Feige projects. James Gunn is just hiring yes men to make his projects.
Iron Man is a completely different movie from Winter Soldier. The Avengers is a completely different movie from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Iron Man 3 feels like a very different movie than Thor. Spider-Man Homecoming feels like a very different movie than Black Panther. The Avengers is a very different movie than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear Jester Bell's point again. Why? Because I want to see why we would have had similar reactions.
His project. This is a James Gunn movie. It is James Gunn through and through, in the same way that all movies that come from Marvel are essentially just Kevin Feige projects.
Yeah, so she makes the point that all of the Marvel movies are just the same. So anybody that has the position that they're not the same is going to point out examples where they're not the same. And they're not even the same examples. I'm pretty sure I stuck with movies that I
James Gunn
relatively
is just
enjoy.
hiring yes men to make his
see.
projects.
Iron Man is a completely different movie
I love
from
Iron
Winter
Man.
Soldier.
Love
The
the Winter
Avengers
Soldier.
is a
Love the
completely different
Avengers.
movie from Guardians of the
Love
Galaxy.
Guardians.
Iron Man 3
Yeah, so
feels like a
Iron Man
very
3.
different movie than Thor. Spider-Man Homecoming feels like a very different movie than Black Panther.
Yeah, so you know this isn't plagiarism because I would never have used Black Panther or Homecoming for this because I don't like them.
The Avengers is a very different movie
Avengers.
than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians.
So they put out this post.
Yeah, so like, I'm sorry, this is not good evidence. It was plagiarism because we had similar counterpoints. Well, she was literally making the point that they're all the same, and I think the only logical response to that is, they're not the same, let's compare. Like, I'm so confused. How is that plagiarizing? So, I don't know. This is weak so far, but we'll continue.
Poster and this little gif the other
This is
day
annoying for me to watch,
advertising the
but, yeah.
teaser trailer, and the poster says truth, justice, whatever. Wow, so edgy, James. You really got that edge there. So they put out this poster and this little gif the other day advertising the teaser trailer, and the poster says truth, justice, whatever. Wow, so edgy, James. You really got that edge there.
It's almost as if they're using a variation to contrast Superman's character.
Jester Bill also doesn't seem to understand this slogan is supposed to show the contrast in the ideals of Supergirl and Superman.
Our character flaws.
I mean, a lot of people have. I'm not the only one who's made that point. Like, I'm genuinely confused here. Someone just messaged me a good point. If some moron says 2 + 2 = 5 and multiple people respond with no, it's literally 4. Nobody's plagiarizing anybody. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm so confused here. Like Kinoflex, if somebody, let me give an example, right? I don't know if Kinoflex is still listening. So if somebody responds to me, criticizing, if someone responds to me criticizing, let's say Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Because I have a video on that coming soon. And they try to say to me, you shouldn't be taking the or you shouldn't be taking the logic of the movie seriously because all of it is just meta humor or whatever. I would respond saying, well, no, it's not just meta humor. There's dramatic elements, there's emotional elements that they're trying to have taken seriously. That's a response that I would have. That's a response that I've had in the past. And I actually looked at a stream recently where a similar point was made by Heels vs. Babyface and Nerdrotic, trying to say, well, it's not serious, it's just meta shit or whatever, something to that effect. And Mahler responded to that point by saying, yeah, but there's still moments in Deadpool 1 and 2 where they're trying to take things seriously, and they're trying to have real dramatic moments. Now, I didn't know that he said this when I was making that response months back to people making that point, but, like, that's the same thing applies, right? There's similar ideas. Someone says 2 + 2 = 5, and then multiple people respond with, no, it's literally 4. Like, that's not plagiarism, just because we have a similar counterpoint. Like, Jack, I'm pretty sure you, in your Thunderbolts response to Colin, because you said that was a good point that I came up with regarding the movie, something about Bucky, right? You said, what about when Bucky blows up the car with this grenade launcher or whatever, the disc launcher, and when that could get some of them killed? It's like, yeah, that's a point that I made that you thought of because of me, but I didn't go ahead and say, oh yeah, Kinoflex plagiarized me. Like, that would be ridiculous.
Well, did I steal your point word for word and just change some of the wording?
Neither did Noah. From the clip I'm being shown here, that's not really stealing my point.
Okay.
Like,
okay, again, like this is your own video, and I can't control what standards you have for your own. But again, like I'm curious to see what you see of the other examples then, because other people like agree with me on this, that he is plagiarism.
Okay, PJ, calm down. So here's the thing, right? If someone were to make a video, right, and they were to say, I don't know, Norman Osborn character assassinated in No Way Home, and the reasoning they give is similar to my reasoning, like I just simply agree with that point. It'd be one thing if they were like taking exactly what I said word for word, right? That would be one thing, but That's not.
But
I'm not seeing
you-
that
you-
here. It's just.
But you understand that. But you understand that plagiarism doesn't have to be like verbatim. You can
I get
steal.
that. I
the
get
structure
that.
of the
I
art.
get that. But I think the problem is, like, firstly, I don't even think this is my point. I've seen other people make this point.
Okay.
Like, I've seen, I'm pretty sure Kyrito has made this point on Twitter at some point. Like, it's not like he stole from me, it's just we happen to have similar responses. I don't think that's plagiarism. If someone were to, say to me, Into the Spider-Verse has a problem because, I don't know, Miles, is just a token Spider-Man, right? They try to say something like that. There's nothing about him that's different from Peter Parker. And then somebody else who's also responding to that criticism points out the same differences. It's like, well, that's not really plagiarism, right? Like,
But what? Yeah, but reverse it. How many people say that Miles is a token Spider-Man? More than
True.
one person has said that before.
More than one
so-
person has said that.
Yeah,
Young Rip has said
but
that.
does
Many other people have said it. So, like, are
But
they
do people-
plagiarizing each other?
Well, are they expanding on that point with different reasoning? That's where it comes in.
Well, that's the thing.
Like
Sometimes
broader
people just have the
like
same
general-
reasoning.
Well, general broad ideas, like that's not inherently plagiarism if you have like your own unique framing and wording to it. But
Sure,
with Noah, people are pointing out how he's taking other videos exactly how they are, slightly edited, and repeating essentially what they're.
The only
they
thing
said in
that's
those
been
original
pointed out
videos.
is that Supergirl's it's contrasting Superman's ideals, and that's what Supergirl is contrasting. But like saying that something contrasts something is such a general statement. Like, for example, Doctor Strange is dumb in No Way Home. It's like that is such a general statement to make. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, here's a good one. How many people are going to say Luke's character assassinated in The Last Jedi because he wouldn't kill Ben Solo because he didn't kill Vader? Like, just as simple as... How many people do you think have just said that?
Well, I got
with the
another
exact wording. I don't think so. I don't think they had the exact wording. No.
Well, I got another example, right? Because I feel like when you have similar criticisms, eventually you're just gonna have like
Oh my
even some of your
God.
wording, it's
Fucking
gonna
party in
cross
here.
over at some point. I don't know. He asked me to. I don't know what he's gonna say. But like, I guess another example of something like this. One of the things that I had in my old PJ, you got noise. All right, I'm gonna
PJ, dog, why are you here if you're just going to keep making noise?
Yeah, I'm gonna disconnect him. So, like, for example, right, I had an old No Way
Doug,
Home.
I literally muted.
Okay, go on mute. I'm trying to make a
Oh my
point.
god, bro. Continue, SK.
Yeah, so I had an old No Way Home video before I remastered it, so it's like better with technical quality and stuff like that. One of the things I said was, why do any of the villains who want the box destroyed just leave? Which I'm pretty sure Madvocate almost says word for word in his video on No Way Home. I'm not gonna say he's stealing from me, right? He's not plagiarizing me just because he made a similarly worded point. Like,
No, because it's a commonly agreed upon point. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I brought the Last Jedi thing. Because, yes, there is a lot of people that will just say the exact same thing. Luke is character assassinated because he wouldn't kill his family because he didn't kill Darth Vader. And they will say it essentially like that.
I mean, I could technically go
especially
ahead and
people that
say,
don't feel like expanding, yeah.
because
It's
before
just the
Southpaw,
people you're gonna say.
before Southpaw dropped this video on Spider-Man 2, I already said, like, why does Doc Ock throw a car at Peter? Why does he throw him at a brick wall? I could just go ahead and say, yeah, Southpaw just ripped off what I said there. But it's like, that wouldn't be fair. We have that's just us having a similar mindset on the scene.
Well, here's and even if you both elaborate, you're probably gonna elaborate with very similar reasons, right?
Okay,
Doc Ock
so-
thinks he's a normal guy.
A couple of things, I guess,
Okay.
since my name's been dropped. So the first thing being, Doc Ock throwing the car at Peter is not is far from a new criticism. Like, that's been around since like 2000. Like, I think that you can
Probably
find
since it
like
came out.
I think you can find forum posts that date back at least to 2007, like as early as that. It could be earlier, but my point is, like, people have criticized that movie a lot, well before I did. I just sort of have the at least one of the more popular strokes of that. The thing that I wanted to also point out was, I guess, like, one criticism I never saw anyone pointing out was like the tentacle blade criticism, right? But if I point out the tentacle blade to someone, or like in my video, but someone else is making their own Spider-Man 2 critique, Like, I don't have a patent on the tentacle blade criticism. It's like, as long as they just simply present their point like differently, or like if they're basically, their video would have to be a different experience than mine. Like, the script would, the structure of the script would have to be different enough that, like, once they get around to the tentacle blade point, it's not going to feel like it, you know, just watching my video again. That would basically be what I think can determine whether something is plagiarism or not. Did you ever watch Kinoflex? Did you ever watch YMS's video on Kimba?
Timber the White Lion, where he points out that's not played, that the Lion King didn't plagiarize it. Yeah, it was fantastic. He kind of debunked that whole myth. Yeah.
I love that video. So when he talks about like how, like, what ultimately matters is whether like the I don't know if it was in that video or like it might have been when talking about like fair use as well. I guess so. This sort of applies to fair use. Basically, the video in question needs to be transformative. It needs to actually do something that provides a very different experience from simply watching the other video or watching the movie that the video is critiquing, right?
Yeah.
The same thing is going to go ahead.
I think a better idea would be like the Simpsons did it. That classic line. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you're trying something that's been done before. It's how you're executing it, right?
Exactly.
That's your point.
Now, I also, so it's a couple of things. I don't watch a lot of SK's content, and just admittedly, I'm just going to like just put that right out there. And I also have like never seen Utterly Noah. So I am coming from a place of just like total ignorance when it comes to what the experience of watching one of Noah's videos, like, or I guess watching Noah's video responding to the same person is versus SK. And maybe if I do a side by side of actually like just watching both videos and see if like if I just like see for myself, it could be the case that like both videos are functionally, like both scripts, both like the structure of each video script is functionally the same. So the thing that I'm a little like, I don't who put the side by side together? Was it you or was it someone else?
It was a channel called Ryan Kinhouse. He brought up another video that's been spread around, like showcasing Noah taking points and videos from other content creators.
So I wouldn't know the first thing about like the veracity of these statements. It could be true. It could be.
The beginning like showcases parts of his first video. If you guys want to take a break from the SK portion.
Well, okay, so here's what I'll say. We're gonna whiz through the rest of the references regarding to me, because that's how it started. Then we'll go to the beginning for the alleged stuff.
Well, I want to be caught up a little. What is the relevance of all of this, anyways? Like, I don't even understand why we're doing this.
I want to go through this first because there's a fundamental disagreement on plagiarism, apparently.
Yeah, so let's just run through the examples. Let's just keep running through it.
And to establish now,
this slogan is supposed to show some of her character flaws, like her being a bit more reckless than.
How do I get this watch together?
Oh well, I could send it. Let me grab it. I wasn't like I thought this was gonna be quick, so I just made it for myself and just like, oh, you guys can watch on the thing.
Yeah.
Let me grab.
Please give us a watch together.
I mean, it's easier for us to just like follow along in real time if we're just in a watch together room.
All right. Yeah. Well, best I could do is put it in disagreement requests and hope nobody fucks with it.
All right. Let me. I'm on my phone right now, so let me get on my laptop real quick, and we're gonna do watch together.
All right. I'm gonna just rewind a bit so we can get to the next one. But Southpaw, if you didn't,
how the hell did this happen?
Don't worry about it.
Show the contract.
I just tuned in like.
He hopped in chat. He was like, "Oh, Utterly Noah was exposed for this thing. How does that make you feel?" It's like, I don't know. I don't watch him, and then he seems to think like, I don't know what he's saying for sure, but it appears he thinks I took a side on that when I explicitly said in my video that I wasn't, because I don't know about this controversy and I don't really care about it. I was responding to
Okay.
him, what he was saying to me, or about
Alright,
me.
Yeah, yeah.
alright,
So I
Yeah,
say
I'm sorry.
before we continue, SK, let's at least like catch, because even I don't know what fully is going on. Let's catch everyone up because he's not even here right now.
Yeah, because he was in chat.
So we know the context.
He was in chat, basically alleging that.
Why does Kino care about Otterly Noah anyways? Is it because like he made a video on him or some shit?
Well, yeah,
And
he thinks
sided with
that
him?
me not acknowledging that Otterly Noah is a plagiarist is embarrassing. And I think that's literally all because I said if Otterly Noah responded and showed that Kinoflex was lying, that it wouldn't shock me. Which is not me taking a side, that's me saying, well, it wouldn't shock me if this is true. It's
Yeah,
an
if then. It's an if then statement, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I actually want to see if we can do this. If he comes back, I want to see if we can actually like end the beef for good because he's fucking annoying.
Yeah, this is
shit's
getting
annoying,
a bit
dude.
annoying, but yeah. So
My
I
God,
told him you
I
have
don't
two
care
choices.
if you hate us, you know. Hate us in peace, though. I want to move
Hate us
on.
in peace.
This is becoming like really mentally ill on his part. Like I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, I don't really care to engage with him unless he's...
Alright, until he comes back, I say we bring Audacious Jones back because we made him wait way too long.
Yeah, alright.
Alright, I'm bringing him back.
Yep. Oh, shit. Fuck. We did it at the same time. Fuck! I'll do it.
SK,
There we
do
go.
it! There we go.
Alright, Audacious Joan, did you have anything else regarding the Nolan trilogy you wanted to say? Or whatever.
I think he wanted to talk to you about James Gunn's Suicide Squad, from what I remember.
Oh, right. James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. So, were you? Was that just bait when you said it was broken?
I said the premise for the plot is broken by the fact that Batman said he would shut down the squad if she continued. And that just didn't happen, even though Batman has access to Superman, Cyborg. You know, he's got crazy connections to actually investigate this. So I think, yeah, the fact she's able to still do any of this, when Batman already knows about it, he's been investigating her, and has people like Cyborg and Superman, yeah, I think that messes with the plot. But to be fair, I'm pretty sure...
Canon to the Snyderverse?
Yes, it is. They made that a thing, unfortunately.
No, I mean the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
I'm done.
They
Snyder
made
cut.
it. They made the DCEU Snyder canon. So that's how I'll be judging.
No,
it
the
running.
Justice League Snyder cut, is that canon or is it the
Yes.
normal?
Yes,
you
Justice
know?
League Snyder cut. Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. So then, yeah, Cyborg is like has crazy hacking feats.
Yeah.
He can hack nukes. Yeah, it's Jover.
It is Jover. But like, to be fair, I distinctly remember. I think I was saying that, like, saying the whole plot is broken, because we had nobody like in the weight room. So I was saying that just to bait people, just so people would want to like disagree and at least say something. It's like I want just a little more, just a little more. I don't actually remember a lot of the plot.
Yeah, like saying the Phantom Menace is terrible. It's a rage bait, so we can get more people in the VC.
Rage bait to get people in.
Yeah,
Kiwi, who is in the weight room now, had posted in chat a minute ago that they asked, may I join the VC to share my thoughts on Utterly Noah since I know more about him, and I told them that they could enter the weight room for that.
Only when Keto Flex comes back.
Yep.
Yeah, if Keto Flex comes back, we're gonna remove.
He didn't come back. He didn't come back.
No. I'm saying while we wait for him, because Kino Flex has taken some time, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we're
it's
talking
quick.
to Audacious Jones still, aren't we?
Well, oh yeah, yeah. That's fair.
It's the structure, bro. It's the structure.
Wait,
Kiwi
Audacious
will
Jones, was
come
that an
back to it.
agreement? I thought were you agreeing or what?
Okay, so you
Defend
are
your goat.
serious
Defend
about
Suicide Squad.
the Batman saying he would shut down the Suicide Squad?
Yeah, he said he would do that.
Keep it stacked on that. I don't consider the first Suicide Squad canon with the second one, so I disregard that completely.
It is.
Yeah,
though,
prove
that's
that's
the
canon.
problem.
That's okay. Prove it.
Well, it's DCEU canon, right? So if it's DCEU canon, then that includes everything. Even the end of Peacemaker shows that, which I know Peacemaker Season 2 changes that. That's a whole mess in itself. I don't like that it does that. It can't even tell which universe it's in.
Okay, but do we really need to follow up shit on a terrible movie?
I mean, they chose to do that. Like, do we need
No,
it? No, that's why I wish the DCEU ended, like, immediately. At least after BVS, it should have been done. Alright, Kinoflex is back. Alright.
Alright.
We're gonna
Is that
pause
it,
on
Audacious Jones?
Sorry, set up.
I mean,
Just give us a sec,
I guess.
Is that all you got?
That's it? Alright.
So is
Alright,
that the only reason? So that's the only reason you thought it was broken?
Well, I was... No,
What's up?
that's not the only... I was kind of baiting when I said that. I don't remember a lot of the plot. I
Okay.
would have to go through it again and see what I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll do it for me then.
I do apologize that this was a shorter one for you, Audacious, but like we're gonna move on. I hope to see you around next time. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Bet.
Alright, Kinoflex, so let's... Are you in this... Okay, you're in. Alright, we'll keep watching, and let's see,
Press and
Kiwi had
the
something to
ideals of
say, remember?
Supergirl and Superman.
Oh yeah, no, I was just wanted to give you my opinion, so no one really know. But if you guys don't really care about that fact, then it's all good. I just thought to share my own opinions.
Do you want her to go, or you want to just go straight to the watch
I
together?
would say just let her go so you
Yeah.
can continue this uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a
What's up,
fair
Kiwi?
reason. You're on the line.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry. So from what I gather from like Audrino, because I've watched quite a few videos or whatever, he's like someone who's like more so on like the right wing and autistic and whatnot, and just shares like his opinions about like grifters and everything like that. And while sometimes his videos can be okay or whatever, it's not like really good like research and everything like that, especially when it comes to like what he feels like. Sorry, words. Blah, 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 blah. But from what I can gather, from like when I heard about the whole plagiarism in the first place, whatnot, it's more sense that like, he seems to have like similar thoughts and opinions on as everyone else, and so it can be considered plagiarism. Whatever. Again, I don't know the full details on it, but I just remember like going into my own research about it because I had my own issues with Hunter Noah, in the sense of like it feels like a lot of times he just like complains and complains, and I'm like, where's the actual research, bro?
Alright, well, I haven't seen any of his stuff to know what you're really fully talking about, but... Alright.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to give you my own opinions on it and everything like that, since you guys were talking about it and whatnot, so...
Alright, yeah. That's cool.
We will consider it.
We'll proceed with the rest. But yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show, Kiwi.
No problem.
Alright, see you later. Alright, so Kinoflex is in.
Are character flaws bad to establish now?
This slogan is supposed to show some of her character flaws,
Is
like
it
her
playing
being
for
a
you?
bit more reckless
Yeah.
than Superman himself.
Because if she didn't have any character flaws, I'm betting people would go on about how she's a Mary Sue.
Because if the trailer showed that she didn't have any character flaws, then this crowd would just go the other direction and call her a Mary Sue.
I mean, that is a point a lot of people have made. Not even in relation to this. Like, I'm pretty sure people have said this about Ironheart, which I don't even agree as a counterpoint, but I'm pretty sure people have defended Ironheart by saying, oh, so you're pointing out that she's dumb in the show? Well, if she was smart, then you would have called her a Mary Sue. They would have said...
But did
that
they structure it in the same way?
It's
Did they
the
structure
same
this-
point. It is the same point. I've seen people make the same point for Ironheart.
Okay.
Well, okay. Well, can I have
is
an
there- is there, like-
elaboration of what you mean by constructed in the same way? Like, be as
there,
clear
like,
as possible with that, because
Again-
obviously you don't
again,
subscribe to
beat
literally
for-
word for word.
Again, beat for beat with some of it changed, some of the wording changed.
But okay, is there like an alternative structure to making that argument though? Because it seems just that would just naturally roll off the tongue of just be like, because the way that he said that particular point regarding the whole, like, it's there to show her character flaw, and if she didn't have flaws, you would just go the other way and call her Mary Sue, is like, yeah, that's just the natural way to express that point. I could like so this is the thing, is that like that's just, the problem is that I actually haven't seen this person that SK and Noah were responding to, but like what they just said in the video that they're responding to here, the original video, the original, who is this person?
Jester Bell.
Jester Bell, thank you. Right. What Jester Bell was saying is like, I mean, I would also just think the same way. I mean, I've seen plenty of examples, on social media of like, the grifter sphere as they're called, complaining about characters that are flawed, and then the typical response to that is, yeah, but like, don't you want female characters that are flawed and aren't perfect and lose sometimes? Like, wouldn't you just call them a Mary Sue if they didn't have these flaws? Like, it's that sort of thing. It's a fairly common argument that I see people make against the types of people who would complain about, how Supergirl is being characterized in this movie.
Well, I want to
I'm
ask a
talking
question
very
because
coherently right now.
this kind of came up just thinking about it. So you said beat for beat, right? Like if something is beat for beat, how it's constructed.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
So response videos in general, would you consider response videos that are made by multiple different creators following the system beat for beat?
Like the concept of response videos?
How people actually make them. Like for example, Skids. Like Skids makes response videos, right? The structure is very simple. You play the video, you play your section where you respond to it. Play more of the video, play more of your response.
Yeah,
play more
but that's not stealing, right? Because it's abundantly clear who you're responding to. It's different when you play your own, like someone else's section or rely on their arguments and not come up with your own. Because that's work that's independent work that's not your own.
How do you know?
So you're talking about argument. So it's the structure of an argument, not the structure of how something is made all around. Because you can all agree that some things are just homogenized. Response videos are homogenized. Everyone does the same thing. They respond, play video, respond, play video. SK does that. I do that. You have done that, right? So the structure only matters when it comes to argumentation, not other things that can be created in YouTube videos, because that's what we're talking about right now. That's your standard.
Can you repeat that?
So we're in the realm of YouTube, which is what we're talking about with Utterly Noah or whatever. You're fine with people having a homogenized system when it comes to how videos are formatted, because you're okay with everyone having response videos and they essentially have the same kind of structure. But you're not okay if it's with argumentation, correct?
It depends. Again, it depends on like how the video is formatted. Like if it's just primarily, you're playing the majority of the same video without ever like giving your input or just barely giving your input, I would say that's sort of plagiarism. But then when it comes to argumentation itself, there needs to be an actual amount of effort shown. That you came up with your own points yourself. It doesn't matter if you agreed. It doesn't matter if other people already agree with you. You need to you need to show that you put in the work for your own original points.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure I correct you on something. I'm not talking about how long you play the video in a response video. I'm talking about how response videos of itself is structured. Those are two different things.
Well, I understand, and it wasn't about how long it was. It's about quantity. So if you're playing like a 30-minute video and your only amount of input amounts to like 2 minutes, then I would say that you didn't fully respond to the video.
No, yeah, that's fine and all, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the format of a response video in and of itself. For example, SK has a response video on quite a few different YouTubers. It's the same structure. He plays a video a certain amount of time, and he puts a certain amount of time in responding it. That's what you do when you do a response.
Okay, but does he go to other videos first and take their points? And
that's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing the concept of having a similar structure for something, because you talked about the argument structure. how it's
Well, hold,
constructed.
okay, so, hold on.
So I'm using this concept into something a little bit wider in YouTube, which is like things are homogenized in YouTube, which is my main point. For example, when people do response videos, they are generally the same formula. So why is that not allowed when it comes to certain argumentation?
Liam, hold on. I think I actually understand what Kino was trying to say there. So, like, the structure of that being like what the wording of the sentence, is that what you meant, Kino?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's okay. So I think that Liam misunderstood what you meant when you said structure then, and that's so like the two of you were sort of like talking past each other for a second. So now that we've
what I was actually trying to say about the structure is I know what he's saying about how the sentence is formed, but what I'm trying to outline is certain things when it comes to especially YouTube are homogenized that way. People will do patterns for how they create content, and that will come down to how the videos are formatted to argumentation. Arguments are generally presented in a very similar way to what is like considered like, you know, popular for like YouTube. Sometimes this is even done just for algorithms and stuff, right? So that's why I'm using a bigger concept, which is how you would literally make the video. Response videos are the same kind of thing structurally. So people are going to have very similar ways of constructing an argument because that's just how it works. This has just been a thing in YouTube forever, so I don't know why we're talking about Otterly Noah specifically for this.
Well,
like for
I would say-
example,
I would say
Mahler pioneered like Last Jedi criticism. You could easily go around Last Jedi hate videos and people will make almost the exact same kind of structure, not wording, but structure to criticize things in, let's say, The Last Jedi.
Okay,
So I'm just wondering where the standard lies when it comes to like Utterly Noah versus.
Well, let's
YouTube
be
as a
clear
whole.
here. I understand like you guys don't like Mahler as like a person, but when it comes to like his like review videos, those are very unique in how they're made. You can't really plagiarize that or something to
No, I'm
that
talking about
scale.
arguments he made.
hold on.
You could plagiarize, you know, in your terms, his arguments.
So first off, Liam wasn't even saying anything about like the quality of Mahler's content, but also like what you just said there regarding the way that he makes his videos is structured in a very unique way. I will say I have like when my Starman 2 video came out, which is very much edited, like takes a lot of inspiration from Mahler's videos in the editing. I mean, I have DMs with Mahler where I tell him like how there's people who are like accusing me of like ripping him off or something, and Mahler's like, I don't have a patent on using clips to express my my tone in everything. Like basically, Mahler himself will say that he doesn't have a patent on how he reviews movies.
Okay.
If that, if it helps, I could
Mahler
even
and Rags and the rest of EFAP are making fun of Vanilla for being a plagiarist, so I don't understand the point.
I mean, EFAP is known to be hypocritical, so I don't know why that's brought up.
Okay.
Wait. So they accuse Noah of being a plagiarist?
Like Rags showed up on the show called the Cope and See stream. He saw the examples given. He said, "Yeah, this is just flat out plagiarism." Not to your clip, not to SK's clip or clips from his videos, but from the prior examples. And to be honest, like I'm willing to. This is just like a new video, and I haven't watched all of it, so I'm willing to concede if you don't view this as plagiarism. I can concede that, but like for the prior examples, like I'm just like, no way, no how. Like this is just flat out plagiarism, and most people, even on YouTube, would consider this to be plagiarism. So if you want to like take a break from SK's section and go back to the beginning and see if that's actually plagiarism, like
okay, so you're willing so you're willing to concede that we don't believe it's plagiarism. Are you conceding because you thought that we didn't believe that even though we said it?
I brought it up because in the past, like last week, SK brought up my video on the controversy, and he kind of just sidestepped it as if it wasn't a big deal, and he
not what I said
to sort of fence it, even when Noah himself said that he plagiarized.
So what I
Yeah,
said,
but
well, hang on, this
No,
might be
go
made
ahead,
about
go
me.
ahead, it's fine.
So
Yeah, I know.
you say that I'm sidestepping it like it's not a big deal. That's not what I said. What I said is that I'm not knowledgeable on the controversy, so I'm not going to take a side on it. So yes, of course I'm going to sit on the fence when I don't even have information.
Well, when
I
are
don't
you
know
going
why.
to? Well, at what point are you going to do research and say and have an opinion?
Why is it needed? Why
That
is it
is
needed?
fence sitting, to be
Because,
clear.
well, hang on. Why is it needed, right? Because there's cases of plagiarism literally every single day, but I doubt you have the time every single day to talk about every single instance of plagiarism out there that could be accessed
You don't
in
need to
some way.
talk. You don't need to talk about it at length. You can just look at the prior people who have talked about it and the examples given and come to your own conclusion, and
Right,
then
so-
just give your opinion.
So the thing is, Kinoflex, right? If I were making a point about who is right or who isn't right or who is wrong, then yeah, you would have a point that I should actually research into what I'm talking about, and I should research the situation. The problem is that I haven't taken a side, and given that this controversy has absolutely nothing to do with me, I don't see the obligation that I have to engage with it. The only thing that I was responding to was things that you said pertaining to me, which we can talk about in a moment. We can get some clarity on that. But the problem is that you seem to think that I have this obligation to get involved in this controversy.
Well, now you do, because your name has been invoked in another video, and that's why I'm bringing it to your attention.
Well, so
it's
even
now
then,
being brought
even-
up that he's plagiarized your video.
Well, so couple things to say about that. One, even then, I don't think that makes me obligated. They're just using me as an example for it, which I can either say is true or is not true, but it's not my word that determines whether or not this is plagiarism or not. It's the information that will determine that. So I don't think I would have to
if you
get
were to
involved.
concede
if
that someone with who has academic credentials or has experience looking over plagiarism for a living, and they said Arlie Noah committed plagiarism, you would concede that it probably is plagiarism.
No, I would concede based on what they say. If their reasoning makes sense. I wouldn't just, because, those kinds of people could disagree with each other. So what would we do in that situation, right? So, I want to see... hang on. What I was going to get to, because this is my second point. Now that I am here, and now that I am getting involved, because you're saying it's happening to me, I'm looking at the examples, and it seems like you yourself acknowledge that you can't really argue for them, and that...
I mean, I can't change your mind, for it. I think it's a bit... suspect. I don't think it's as strong as the previous
Would you
examples
say that
I've gone over, but
if you're in my position, right, and I'm only seeing these examples, would you say this evidence is insufficient?
I'm not sure I would come to your same reasoning. That's the problem.
Okay, well, why would it be sufficient if we're only working off the information that I have right now, that I've seen?
I can say that I guess I can see if you're still neutral on the subject, but I'm looking at this as someone who has seen other past examples, I guess I can give you that.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to outline here is that with the information you've shown me so far that you wanted me to acknowledge, right, you said, go to this timestamp, it'll prove my point. I've looked at the timestamp, I've looked at these examples, none of these have been sufficient. That's my issue here. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, there could be other instances that do prove it, and that could contextualize potential intent behind these similarities. But the problem is that what I'm seeing right now doesn't prove it. Now, if you've willingly conceded that, well, yes or no, have you conceded that the evidence here shown regarding me in isolation is not sufficient?
I don't necessarily concede that, but I can see that it is not as strong as the prior evidence.
Right, so then I would ask, what is sufficient
has been
about
shown against Noah, and it makes him look more guilty because this has been a pattern of behavior from him.
Okay, but what I asked you was that only looking at these examples, right? Would you say that these examples in isolation are sufficient?
So you're asking me if I just looked at this by itself, I could. Is there enough? Is there enough evidence for me?
Yes,
to
that's
go.
what I'm asking.
Oh, is this a coincidence? Could this be seen as coincidental?
Could
okay, fine, sure. I can say, and by just based on these clips alone, I can say maybe it's coincidental. Maybe It's
So I have
possible
I
he
have a
didn't see your video and came to the same conclusions using somewhat similar wording.
I have
Yeah,
a
like-
follow-up question. If you are willing to admit that it's not sufficient, then why should SK really get involved?
Because his name was brought up in this controversy, and like he said he has no reason to get himself involved and to do the research. So I bring this up so he can have his take.
Okay, but
how
now
is
he's
his name
gotten
brought up?
involved in-
For exactly like what's the context for that? Is it literally just this plagiarist shit?
A second example, which includes SK. Yeah.
Can I? Okay, couple things. So now SK has gotten involved and has weighed in and concluded that he doesn't think that Utterly Noah has plagiarized him. So the I don't know like what phrase to describe it as. Like for lack of a better word, I'd use something like white knighting, basically. But like I don't mean to be so pejorative. But like now that SK's like come in and said, no, I don't like this doesn't seem like plagiarism to me. Like I think that what Liam was trying to ask there was why should SK continue weighing in now that he has weighed in, and it seems like the one aspect where he could have been relevant maybe at all, which again SK and Liam would
Was insufficient by your own words.
Yeah.
So
It's
he should be involved because of something that's insufficient when it comes to his involvement.
Okay, so I'm acknowledging that if you just want to look at this example involving SK and say that could be coincidence, that could be coincidental, I would say sure, but it's not sufficient enough proof to say Utterly Noah is not a plagiarist. When I have already told you about prior examples of him and of it being pointed out that he plagiarized 4 different content creators and him apologizing for doing so.
Okay,
yeah,
so
but why does SK have to care about any of this?
Yeah, this is my contention, right?
when
You're saying that I'm a fool for not acknowledging this or something like that. That's what you said in the chat, right? But
What did I say? Repeat that.
You said something like you're a fool for not. Let me look to get exact.
I don't think I
wording.
ever called you a fool, but I could be wrong.
Well, maybe not fool. You said something about whether or not I should. You said you not acknowledging this is embarrassing. So, kind of the same connotation, right? So, what's embarrassing about me not acknowledging it?
Yeah, because this is a serious accusation against an anti woke content creator, and you're supposed to be of the position that the anti woke content creators are the grifters. That their standards for criticizing media are subpar, and if you're not willing to call out someone within your own crowd, I think that says something about your standards. Frankly, there should be willingness, like a standard applied that's applied to everyone.
So here's the problem, right? You would have to prove that the standard of plagiarizing is even applicable in the situation, right?
Okay, you go to the beginning of the video. Utterly Noah's apology,
hang on. There's another. Well, hang on. In order for me to have an inconsistent standard, I would have to willfully reject the evidence. It's not a matter of me willfully rejecting the evidence. It's
you're not looking.
Hang on. It's a situation that I'm not even knowledgeable in, and I'm not interested in the situation. And as far as the whole anti-woke thing, right? I'm pretty sure you've seen that in the video. I said there are things you can criticize under the negative definition of woke and be,
But you said 99% of the time it's inapplicable.
No. I said 99% of the times I've seen. That's a different statement.
Okay.
Right. So the point that I'm making there isn't necessarily that everybody or even that an overwhelming majority of people that talk about anti-wokeness in their content, that they're just completely incorrect or they're just grifting or whatever. It's not what I said. I said there can be valid criticisms to make, but the problem is that a lot of the points that I see being made are bad, and it results in a lot of, false positives, which, ironically enough, I was directed to a video by Critical Drinker that made, I think 80%, maybe around 80% of the same points that I made, and I was shocked. I was like, wow, these are actually good points from Critical Drinker, where he's talking about wokeness or whatever. and how people can cling to things unreasonably. I think he's guilty of it, but it's interesting to me that he's made a video where he points out this exact problem that I was pointing out. So, I think it's a little bit strange that you're framing this as, oh, you're going after all these anti-wokes, but you're unwilling to criticize your own side with it. Well, it's not a matter of I'm unwilling to criticize it. It's just that it's a situation that doesn't involve me. I don't really care about the situation. It's similar to how there's things with, I don't know. I heard there was a thing about Andy Pants Gaming that I don't really know about. I haven't looked into it because it doesn't involve me. The only thing that I have looked into him was the whole thing with Actman, because I found that personally funny. But if I didn't care about it, then I would have no reason. That was hilarious, right? But if I didn't care about it, if I didn't find the Actman situation funny, then I would not have gotten any way involved in the controversy by looking into what's being said. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that, like, there's no obligation for me to get involved in every single situation. And I don't think you can really point that out as an inconsistency in my standards. You would have to point out things that I've willfully acknowledged and given my opinion on.
Can I just get a word in edgewise? Sorry. So, I'm not entirely sure. So, SK, do you have like a personal friendship with Arlie Noah, or like do you know much about this guy at all?
I've never heard of this person until recently.
There's an association with their content, and I think that matters a lot, because even if they've never met each other, there is an association between them, like an unintentional association, because they have they both have the same interests.
Okay, whoa, hold on. Okay, first off.
Wait, what association?
That is first off, that is a guilt by association fallacy. Just because two things share one thing in common doesn't mean that they're actually related. Secondly, so SK, I know of a very specific example of SK going up against progressives, progressive content creators who were literally his friends. They were called Ecom. But the thing is that SK was directly involved with that situation to begin with. He had to actually respond once I presented the evidence, and the evidence was sufficient and it was overwhelming. So that's one thing right there. Yeah. We have a case here where the evidence is not overwhelming. In fact, the evidence is insufficient by what sounds like your own admission. Now, if I'm incorrect,
no. So wait, at Southpaw, you're saying that the evidence I provided as so far doesn't prove that Arlie Noah is a plagiarist in your eyes yet, because again, there's more evidence you have not gone over.
There could be more evidence,
and this is just latest evidence.
Yeah, but we're going over like just this evidence here, like the supposed evidence that supposedly directly involves SK. If there is evidence that Arlie Noah is a plagiarist, which very well could be the case, it doesn't sound like it's evidence. It's quote unquote evidence which involves SK directly. So again, that kind of like it kind of blows apart the concept that SK is obligated to respond to this. Now, another thing. I'd like to just simply sort of flip the standard to the other side. I don't think that right-wing grifters are obligated to respond to other right-wing grifters who plagiarize.
So if they have an association with them, I would say they do have somewhat of a standard.
Okay, if it's a direct association, like a friendship, sure. Friendship, sure. I can't speak tonight, sorry. If they have a direct association, they appear on a podcast together frequently, they talk to each other constantly, that's one thing. We don't have that with SK and Noah. So where is this coming from?
And also, like,
well, first off, when he responded to my video, he said he didn't want to get involved with it, and he just sidestepped that entire issue without verifying to see if
but I didn't make a claim.
Noah is actually a plagiarist, and it's like very clear. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't claim he was or wasn't. I just said I'm neutral, which is what you should say if you're unknowledgeable about a situation.
Yeah, it makes no sense for you to be neutral if you actually bothered to do research.
But I don't have to do research because it doesn't require. Well, hang on. Kinoflex, you were making points about the video that I made on you, which is irrelevant to Arlie Noah. I don't need to look into this Arlie Noah situation.
He brought it up.
Yeah, but you made points about the situation itself, which is why I responded. I didn't respond to anything you said about the whole Arlie Noah controversy. No, I didn't.
Like the video the video you're responding to is over an hour.
Wait. Hold on.
Over an hour of me responding, addressing that situation. I think it's lazy. I just think it's lazy for you to just say, "Yeah, I don't know."
We have the watch together. How about we just do that? If
Well,
he's gonna claim
no,
that you're
because
bringing
we're
this on
talking
video.
about obligation, right? So, so Kinoflix, I don't think it's lazy to not engage in an hour-long video about a controversy that doesn't
You don't
involve
have
me.
to. You don't have to. You just have to say, based on my own research or based on me looking into it, yeah, Arlie Noah is a plagiarist, even by his own admission. So I'll give Kinoflex that.
Okay.
However, I disagree
hang
with
on.
him
I
on
don't. I
this,
don't
this,
need to
this.
give you
It
anything.
just sounds as though you didn't want to give me credit.
Wait, both of you.
for
I actually want to give
Kinoflex,
Kino. I'm gonna give Kino a very small bone here. The only thing I think is actually somewhat a good argument is if you did mention at all stuff about Utterly Noah and like he being in the right, whatever, right? In your video, that is the only point I think is relevant. So
Yes.
if we play the video, Kino, please show us some time because I don't remember him doing it.
It doesn't happen.
But I
It
could
never
be wrong.
happens. I specifically.
You sidestepped the issue. You said that
We
you said that you
we
were
have the
going to be
watch
neutral.
together.
I have.
based on
I have.
hang
something,
on. Both
something
of you,
more.
both of you. Hey, we have the watch together. Kino.
Well, I have the
pull it up.
doc.
No,
Show
I don't want to
reference.
get. I don't want to get off topic. The point is, you
That
did
is
not
on
want to
topic.
address
That's
that
the-
controversy
okay.
for whatever reason.
Because it doesn't involve me, and it's like a long ass controversy that I'm honestly not interested in.
You don't. It's
the
not.
same.
It's not long. It's not long whatsoever. You can just look into it. You can
Well,
just
I don't
look
know.
at the
I don't
video,
know how. I
look
don't know
like
how
the
I'm meant
available
to know.
evidence. You can
well,
watch
how is he
Noah's
supposed
like
to know it's
7-minute
not long?
video.
How-
and just say,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
this
an-
guy's.
How is he
How am I
supposed to know
supposed to
it
know
if he
it's
doesn't know
not
anything about the
long?
controversy?
I don't know
How is he
anything.
supposed
You
to
can
know
look
anything
into
about
it. Like
you
if you
looked
just
at it?
bothered to look into it.
Well, why do I
can
have to? Why do I have to?
Why?
Because you're
And if
making.
you say it's
Because
not
you're
long,
saying
you
you
don't
don't
know that 'cause you
know
didn't
when
look
you can
into
look
it.
into it.
Can I? Okay, guys. Can we please stop talking over each other?
Yeah,
Like,
let me-
Please utilize the server mute function if you have to.
Okay.
And like let's give Kinoflex a chance to talk uninterrupted, and then if we can just return that same courtesy, that would make this
let me
so pleasant to listen
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Let me just go on a whole thing, right? Because I was gonna bring this up, right? So, Kinoflix, I find it confusing that you try to characterize me as someone who's unwilling to criticize the quote-unquote woke side, correct?
You're largely not, especially
Okay.
when you talk to me in DMs about how certain woke content creators
That's-
make bad points, but you
that's
never
great,
make a
that's
video
great.
on them.
So looking at my channel right now, the most insane Superman review. I'm responding to left-wing talking points. Debunking the worst Iron Man takes. I'm responding to left-wing talking points about these movies.
Okay.
What next
Okay,
do we have?
yeah,
Debunking
again-
the worst
again.
Transformers 1 review. I'm responding to left-wing talking points against
Yeah,
the movie.
again, that's nice. I'm talking about proportionality.
What do you mean
certain
proportionality?
certain
I respond
content
based on
creators
what I'm
you
exposed
avoid,
to.
you avoid making videos on. That's
do I
my
avoid
point.
What does he
making
avoid
videos on?
making videos on?
The
Like,
Birdman,
give
for
an example.
instance,
Why would I make a video on the Birdman? There's nothing for me to respond to.
because you said his points are
Which
shit.
video?
You said his points are shit.
Yeah, and you
Oh,
already
that's
well, hold up. You already responded to him on Ironheart, and in regards to the things that I agree with, which would be the plot holes within the show and the character problems with its consistency, I already agree with your counterpoints on that. So like, I don't know why I would respond to it. I don't really
You
care.
know what? SK also responded to my Spider-Man 2 video, and I'm not a right winger.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
It's not like an anti-woke review, I guess, but it's also not a woke one. It's just, but
It's
I am you know, I guess you could call a woke content creator who was also friends with SK. So, like, here's the thing too: is like I don't understand. So the other thing to factor into, right, is I'm also trying to be neutral when it comes to this Utterly Noah character because I just don't know who this fucking guy is, and your claims against
Yeah.
him.
Do
could be
you
correct.
guys just want to move on to like an example that isn't SK and
Well-
see if your opinion changes then? Because it sounds as though we're not going to agree on the SK portion.
Well, I think like
I
just
think
from the
the-
jump,
I
I think
think
the
the
way you're
biggest-
characterizing it is just it doesn't make sense. That's my issue here.
It doesn't
I
make
think
sense.
the biggest
It doesn't make
issue
sense that he's a
here is
plagiarist.
I don't think that there's
No,
enough provided for us.
Not
to
based
even
on
care
the
enough to get
information
into it.
that, not based on the receipts that you have shown us so far.
And
That can change with other receipts.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess then maybe it was a mistake for me to show you the 3-minute 20-second mark instead of just the beginning of the video.
Okay, we'll look at the beginning
Sure.
then.
Because
skip
like
that.
like okay, so let's say someone's trying to so let's say like rewind back to 2020 when I think that Captain America Civil War is a great movie. Someone tries to there were guys that I debated who tried to argue otherwise, and their arguments sucked. I'm not going to mince words about that. They made unconvincing arguments. Or let's say someone tries to show me CinemaSin's terrible fucking video on that movie. The arguments within CinemaSin's video and these people's messages with me and tweets towards me are not going to be sufficient. They're not going to be very convincing. It doesn't mean that there aren't good arguments to make against the movie. They're just not being provided right now, and therefore they weren't convincing me. And it was only after some time and I thought about it a little bit more and thought about things that I hadn't thought about yet, I was like, okay, there might be some issues here. And then it just developed from there. That's it. It's a very healthy type of agnosticism.
All right,
Okay.
so
Let's.
I get. So are we gonna go through the rest of the video?
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
guess?
watch right now. Let's see.
Okay, let's go through it.
This is part 2 of exposing Otterly Noah as a content thief. Last time we spoke, I outlined 2 creators Otterly Noah stole from in a short 4-minute video. Otterly Noah was stealing other people's assets and scripts, then remixing them as his own.
Vasquez starts the shot as an amorphous blob before the AI starts to put a mouth on her cheek.
In this shot here with Vasquez, it tries to read her face at first as an amorphous blob because it doesn't recognize her face is a face.
In one of his videos.
Okay, so I guess that's the first example. He used amorphous blob. I don't know
No,
why.
he
they
also
u-
used the video, like the same video from the other content creator, Narelle, without mentioning them.
So like the same
whatsoever.
footage.
I think.
Yeah,
go back.
that he himself made, that Narelle himself made.
Before the AI starts to put a mouth on her cheek.
In this shot here with Vasquez, it tries to read her face at first as an amorphous blob.
So you're saying that
Yeah,
this
that's
visual
the exact same
created
thing.
was from somebody else?
That was from Narelle, the first example provided.
Yeah, that's actual editing. That's fair.
Okay, yeah, that's taking someone's editing. So we'll continue.
Because it doesn't recognize her face is a face.
In one of his videos, he even took beat for beat from another creator, Vincent Pavarel.
Then there's still The Accountant 2 and Drop, both well received.
You could have gone to see The Accountant too, which
Tron Ares did not have girl boss in the slightest.
Tron Ares didn't contain a girl boss at all.
Hold
I'm
on.
not.
What was
so-
that?
Yeah, that was really weird because like they show like a full sentence from Vincent and then like hold on, rewind that. That was
Yeah.
weird.
At first as an amorphous blob because it doesn't recognize her face is a face.
In one of his videos, he even took beat for beat from another creator, Vincent Pavarel.
Then there's still The Accountant 2 and Drop, both well received.
You could have gone to see The Accountant too, which
Tron Ares
Yeah,
did
that
not
is
have...
weird editing, I will
What
admit.
about-
But in the original video where he brought this up, it wasn't like that. If you want to pull that up real quick. It's from the same guy.
Does he mention the Accountant 2 and Drop
Yes.
or just the Accountant 2?
He mentions The Accountant 2 and Drop, I believe. I think he's like condensing it. I think he's Ryle Kinhouse is just condensing it all, but it didn't turn out good.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I promise. I promise. If you go back to that video, everything's more like laid out.
All right,
I mean, I think the first one.
Go
we
to the
can-
other example.
I can see an argument for the first one, right? Because that's literally taking someone's specific editing. And
which video of Otterly Noah's is that?
He shows it in the description. It's also a response to Gesture Bell, but going over the worst movies of 2025, or 2025 was a terrible year for movies. I forget the title. But Vincent Pavarel is a very important example because he himself accused Noah of plagiarizing him. Like this isn't simply Ryle Kinhouse making this accusation. So if you want to pull up like Ryle Kinhouse's other example, like I think that would be helpful.
I asked which video had that thing mentioning the Accountant 2 and Drop, and you said it's in the description of this video that we're watching. No, the videos that are linked in the description of this video in the watch together is the Gesture Bell videos. That's not to do with Accountant 2 and Drop. So this.
I'm sorry?
I am not finding the link to Otterly Noah's video that supposedly plagiarizes this line regarding Accountant 2 and Drop.
No, he tells you the video where he plagiarized it from in Ryle Kinhouse's original video. He's referencing a past video from him, like that he made right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see here. Debunking Jester Bells. All right. Anyways, you guys can continue. I'm going to look this up.
You could have gone to see The Accountant too, which
Tron Ares did not have girl boss in the
I mean,
slightest.
all I'm gonna say is like, so the editing thing, like, yes, I can see that's plagiarizing. But as far as like using the same film examples, I think that's flimsy. But we'll continue.
Tron Ares didn't contain a girl boss at all.
I'm not saying Greta Lee's
Saying that it didn't contain a girl boss, isn't that like a specific claim being made? So you're responding with the simple act, like just saying no. It
Go
didn't
back,
contain
go
that.
back, go back, go back.
drop,
I want
both
just
well
replay it.
received.
You could have gone to see The Accountant too, which
Tron Ares did not have girl boss in the slightest.
Tron Ares didn't contain a girl boss at all.
I'm not saying Greta.
So if you
I don't
say,
know how that one is copying.
that's not plagiarism. If
Well,
somebody
like,
says,
let the rest of the point play out.
if someone says Spider-Man's suit is green, someone says Spider-Man's suit is not green, and someone also says Spider-Man's suit is not green, then yeah, that's not.
let the rest
that's
of
not
the video
All
play
right.
out.
Hold on. Kino, you said that in Otterly Noah's video, he says both The Accountant 2 and Drop.
From my
just
memory,
looked.
I believe
Okay.
that was the case. Yeah.
You believe?
I just looked. I'm putting this in the. I'm putting this. I'll DM this to SK. I will DM the screenshot to SK, and SK can post this wherever the fuck it is that we all can see this. But I'm literally looking at the transcript. Not to mention, I also just watched it as well, but I can't show that because I'm not screen sharing anything.
Okay,
But he just
like
mentions Accountant 2.
Southpaw. Like in Vincent Proverel's video, like he flat out uses the exact same examples that he used, including like making the same points on Better Man, like the Looney Tunes movie that came out, like several examples where it becomes like really clear that he was using that as a baseline.
Okay, but this is
for
like
his
a
own video. Like
okay,
to me,
but
that's
this
just
is a
really
poorly
not Drop.
This is a really poorly articulated point if that's the case.
I don't really see how, considering Ryle Kinhouse's video is just dead, has him dead to rights.
I'm not
His
talking
video is
about
shit so far.
Dude, I'm
His video
talking
is shit
about
so
what
far,
I
okay.
just saw in this part here. Okay, I'm not. Listen, we just started watching this, but I'm like we're
Again, this is
ESAPing this basically, right? We're going point by point.
Edited up, like cut up portion of his original video.
Yeah, it seems to be dishonestly edited based on
Yeah.
what I just saw right here.
Yeah, if it doesn't mention the second film from the first thing, then that's just flat out disingenuous editing.
Accountant 2, like
That's a big
take
movie. A lot of
fucking-
people will talk
Well,
about
if you want
it.
to, if you want to,
Yeah.
like, if you want to go back to the first video he made, go ahead, I guess.
Why should we even trust him anymore? He just he deceitfully
lied.
edited
Okay, so
his
Ryle-
video.
He just
yeah, he's a
deceptively
liar.
made
We just
something.
caught him being a liar.
What a
now you're
fucking
saying
liar, dude!
You're a
What
liar.
fucking
You're-
Weasley liar,
You're a
dude.
little kid who's a liar on the internet.
So is Ryle Kinhouse
You're a liar.
deceptively editing or not?
So
Yes.
it looks
He
like
deceptively
it.
edited right here.
Okay.
Like if he did not deceptively edit, what happened is he is a moron.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know
Ryle
how-
Kinhouse is deceptively editing, and he's a moron.
Or he's
Or
wrong.
one of the two.
Or he's
Or
a
it's-
moron.
Yeah.
And I just want to point at this. When a Southpaw asked you about if the initial Otterly Noah video had what was the two films again? I don't know, whatever.
Drop
Accountant
and
2 and
Accountant
Drop.
2.
Yeah, and you say you believe so.
Yeah, you just
I
that
don't know
wasn't
what-
good
Yeah,
enough.
because like you asked me
That's
like in
kind
the
of-
moment, like
that's
I'm
kind
just
of-
showing you like the
that's kind
video.
of
Like those aren't
interesting
even like
because
the
you're-
biggest examples.
Yeah,
Like
but
in the
you're
video
going
itself.
at
Like the
SK
main
for,
examples
doing
I
his
think of
research,
are
and
how
apparently
he
you don't
like makes the
even
same
know for
points
sure
on
if
Better
Otterly
Man and the
Noah
Looney Tunes
copied
movie.
something there. That
Like
was a
those weren't the
different point.
points that I thought were the smoking gun.
That
Okay.
was, that's not my point.
So-
Hang on. I wasn't done finishing what I want to say. Because like
True.
I think that's kind of interesting because you were going on SK's ass so hard about doing his research on this situation, and then when we're asking
I did.
you
Like,
if you know
what
something
do you
about
mean?
something,
Like, I'm
you don't
showing
even
you the
say yes or no.
video
You say I
where
believe
I'm
so.
showing you the
You're not even
video
fully
where,
sure
like,
about the
where it lays
situation
out.
either, apparently.
Yeah,
Like,
not even you
what does
are.
that say about you? Why are you going on him for not doing this extensive research when he didn't even check Otterly Noah's video to make sure that that was factually accurate, that he copied that part right there?
Yeah, you
which
just
is
went
important
by,
because
"I
that could
believe so."
determine, and that's important because that will determine if the person that we're watching right now is a liar or not.
Okay. Hold on. Can we just let me just get in a word? Okay, so it is possible that even with this weak argumentation from Ryle Kittenhouse, that Otterly Noah is a plagiarist.
Yes.
The issue is that now we're dealing with a credibility problem here. So like we can't just take it on Ryle Kittenhouse's word when this is like one of the first examples he uses, and it's very clearly a deceptive edit, or like if not a deceptive, it is an incomplete.
Well, then go back to his original video where it's not
Let me
edited.
finish
No,
my
we gotta do
point.
more than that. We gotta watch.
I always
We gotta
let
watch
you finish
both
your point.
videos.
Let me finish my point.
We
We're
have to
just
watch three
dealing with
videos now in a row.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
So, listen, it's really important to dot your I's and cross your T's before you make such claims about people, because then when we bother scrutinizing your like these specific references or receipts that are being used to support this pretty heavy accusation against content creator, and we find that these these points that you're making aren't really like well supported, that's going to make it harder to take you seriously. Well, to take your argument seriously at all. To take
Can Noah not be taken seriously himself when he has admitted that this Ryle Kittenhouse video is like good evidence showcasing
I don't
his
trust
thought.
your word on him
Sorry,
admitting
not
it.
thought.
I need to see that.
It's showcasing his plagiarism. Sorry, slip the tongue.
Okay. Since you just asked me a question,
real
he just asked me a question. Can I answer his question, Chris?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what I will say is that based on what's just happened, I don't trust that you have a clear memory of what happened. That's the first layer of issues. The second layer of issues is I'm speaking from personal experience with SK himself. SK, do you remember that call that we had in like beginning of October 2023 when we had our whole falling out and I sounded really guilty? Like it was, you posted clips of it on Twitter as evidence that I was guilty as sin of what you and Jeb had accused me of, basically, right? Well, the context
you obviously
of that
changed your mind on that as we dug through it.
Yeah. Once I actually like scrutinized what Jeb in company's claims were, and I proved that they were liars, that changed the context of that whole conversation of my entire tone. So Otterly Noah admitting to, so here's the thing. I haven't seen his video, and he could actually be admitting to it, and it's not peer pressure or anything, right? But the point is, if he's been peer pressured by people who are like viciously going after him and harassing him and being unreasonable, he just wants this like to be done with. I've been in that position before. I've admitted to things that I haven't actually done because I'm being guilt tripped about it and harassed about it, and I want to be left alone. So that's another layer to factor in. I'm not saying that that's definitely the case. I'm saying it could be the case. And based on what I've seen so far, I don't have reason to just take you at your word.
Okay, fine.
I also want to ask a question here. Kino, do you want us to be really thorough about the situation with Otterly Noah? You want us to be thorough about it?
Sure.
Okay, so ever since he clearly deceptively edited, that means we're required to watch 3 videos consecutively to make sure that nothing was cut out of context. Okay, the question for everyone else, SK and Southpaw, do you guys genuinely want to do that?
No,
absolutely not.
I don't fucking care about this situation. Like,
Okay, fine, then I guess we're done here.
Yeah, here's the other thing is like, there's a billion fucking things that happen like every single day that I'm not going to know about.
Exactly.
And that I don't fucking care about.
Okay,
it's
so,
like I'm not obligated to fucking commentate on every single thing ever.
Just I'm clear on all of your positions. None of you are convinced that Otterly Noah is a plagiarist, and you're more so convinced that Ryle Kittenhouse is dishonest and deceptively edited his video.
Here's what I think. My
Not
position
convinced.
is that the editing thing, and that's just assuming that no context was left out, right? I'll assume that just for the time being, if the editing thing where he took somebody else's edit and then just used it as his own, yeah, I would say that is probably
Yeah, but SK,
plagiarism.
is that one real or was that deceptive editing?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I'd have to check again.
Oh, okay, SK.
Okay, when are you going to check? When are you going to check?
Appreciate if we're thorough. Want to be thorough? Want to watch 3 videos right now in a disagreement day when we're supposed to be talking about Star Wars?
No, I don't.
Here's what I will say.
Like, what the fuck is what is this?
Here's
shit,
what I'll say.
dude?
Accusations of plagiarism should pass by a strong burden of proof, and the receipts that I am seeing don't pass that burden of proof. And you know what? I'm actually speaking as someone who was accused of plagiarism, but let me finish my point.
Multiple people. I talked about this with Jan. He has a background in checking for plagiarism. He said that this qualifies as plagiarism. I talked with Ant himself. Yeah, Anthony Gramuglia. I talked to him. He streamed about this. He said that this qualifies as plagiarism.
Okay,
this isn't a culture war issue. This is
We
just
don't really-
like objective.
we're not looking into
This
it.
is just an objective take on the situation. He plagiarized.
Jan is the
I
same
don't
guy
understand
that-
why you
Jan is the
guys
same guy.
fucking
want to
finish. I got interrupted, and now I can't get a word in edgewise.
This is just a very weird hill for you guys to die
Jan,
on.
this
If I'm
is the
being honest.
Jan is the
And
same
we
guy
wanna
that
move on from
accused
this.
C of pure evil, and he had to
Okay.
retract. Okay.
Who's
Okay, so here's the.
That wasn't even the
here's
main thing I wanted to get into.
Let
Oh my
me
God.
fucking. I wish I could server mute you, Jesus Christ! But now you can server mute me, of course. Anyways, what I wanted to say was, it could be the case that this video gets better and actually shows hard evidence, okay, and it just opens with some weak spots. The problem is, we are just like we're going through this the way that EFAP does, that a lot of like podcasts and live streams do, basically, right? Is you play, you respond to it, you play, you respond to it, just like a regular response video, only you're doing it live, basically, right? The problem is when we point out something where the issue here is so fucking obvious, because Ryle Kittenhouse is claiming that this exact type of plagiarism happens. The editing is really weird, and then I ask, so wait, does Arlie Noah say both the accountant 2 and drop? And then the Kinoflex says, I believe so, and so I then decide to just scrutinize that, and I go to literally the video that Kinoflex even points me to, and then I look in the transcript, and then I watch that part of the video just to double check, make sure the transcript is correct, and it's correct, and then I screenshot. I'm like, yeah. He just mentions the accountant 2, not anything else after that. So no, he didn't mention the accountant 2 in drop as you claimed. And then Kinoflex, instead of just taking the fucking L and being like, you know what? You're right. I should have dotted my I's and crossed my T's. I should have done my due diligence there. And I didn't. My bad. If he had just done that, he would have had so much more credibility. I'm not saying that he would have had a lot of credibility, but it would have been a softer blow to his credibility if he had just been intellectually honest enough to do that. But he couldn't even do that. He gets really defensive and angry and yells over us while I am talking, just like you did, PJ. Anyways.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay. But like, he starts yelling over me while I'm talking. He's like, oh yeah, well, Jan said it, and Ant says, like, I don't fucking care what Jan and Ant say. No offense, Ant. It's like they could be wrong. Jan and Ant could be fucking wrong on this particular situation, or it could be referring to something else that we haven't even seen yet that Kinoflex is getting so fucking upset over. He is getting upsetty spaghetti over us applying basic scrutiny to his claims, to these really serious claims about someone. And again, I'm someone who, Liam, you literally accused me of plagiarism during late 2023, and your receipts were wrong, and I had to prove that. I take...
Wait, what are you talking about?
Remember
no, that was
when
Paragon.
when
That was
you
Paragon.
oh sorry, Paragon, right?
Yeah, I never accused anyone
sorry.
of plagiarism.
Okay.
Unless it's a joke.
Okay, my bad. I'm getting my wires crossed there. Oh my god, I can't believe it. How fucking simple it is to just admit that I got something minorly incorrect. But the point is, I was being accused of something like plagiarism, and I had to dig through my fucking Google Drive folder to find the exact script that I was talking about to be like, no, these are the notes I was talking about. It has nothing to do with Paragon points. I take accusations of plagiarism very fucking seriously. And it's not that I have a vested interest in Utterly Noah, because I don't fucking know the guy. Like, apparently he's woke. Is like, okay, fine, whatever. But that doesn't give me any connection to him whatsoever. However, I will say, being a target of anti-woke losers like Kino Flex, yeah, I'm gonna call him that. Being a target of these kinds of people who are just constantly intellectually dishonest. Yeah, I'm skeptical of everything they say. Kino Flex is a liar. He lied about me on stream with SK. He lied about C. He lied about Sheev. He lies all the fucking time. He lies whenever his lips are moving. So I don't fucking care what he has to say because, well, okay, I should clarify here. He could be telling the truth about Utterly Noah. I don't know, but he isn't satisfying a burden of proof. There's my crash out. I'm done.
He also accused me of doxing without like any context at all.
Well, no, he didn't
That was
accuse you
annoying.
of doxing. He tried running with the story from an idiot at first. Well, he tried to like look into what
Yeah,
he
that
was
was saying
saying.
that was the doxer, which is like
Yeah.
whatever.
Stupid. He also says that I'm a
Annoying.
doxer enthusiast because I retweeted a guy who happened to dox someone when he didn't in the video that I retweeted. And he says
He also
that
calls
Southpaw
me-
is a pedophile for.
Oh yeah, he calls. Oh yeah, so he calls me a pedophile because I dated a 16-year-old when I was 20, 10 years ago. It's like, oh, this isn't a relationship that's going on now. Oh, this is from 10 years ago. Oh, you don't have any evidence of me actually talking to anyone in this age range to this day. Okay, well, calling me a pedophile seems like a stretch then, but whatever, Kino. Not to mention we have so many hours of chat logs of us just like talking to each other on a friendly manner. Oh, we have multiple watch parties. Now, not recorded, but we watched World War Dreams together. We watched all of Batman Caped Crusader together. Had a great time. But apparently I'm a pedophile. Apparently Kino Flex
Well, not
thought I was
just
a
that,
pedophile and is okay with hanging out with a pedophile.
He claimed that you literally, fucked him up. He claimed that.
Oh yeah,
So-
he claimed that too, which comes out of nowhere. Hey,
Which
Kino
is
Flex
not
says
even true.
you guys are dying on the hill that Noah is not a plagiarist. We didn't say that Noah's not a plagiarist. We literally said you haven't proven it.
Yeah, you haven't proven it.
satisfied a burden of proof. That is a different statement. You fucking moron.
I actually want to
Holy
clarify
shit.
this too. I didn't have a stance at all of the Utterly Noah stuff. What I was trying to point out near the end is that ever since the video that we watched is inherently not credible because of the deceptive editing. Even one time, it puts everything into scrutiny. In order for us to be thorough, we have to sideline the show more than we already fucking are to watch essentially, 3 videos, and no one wants to do that, and no one cares, and this guy is not affecting us at all, and is not our problem.
Like Kino Flex, you aren't helping your case when you constantly strawman us. You realize that, right? We have
Also-
clarified our position.
I'm sorry,
our
I want to say
nuanced
one
position.
more thing.
Go ahead.
Because I think another thing that's annoying is KinoFlex joins here, and it's like there's such an opportunity to maybe bury the hatchet, move on or something, and like that
I was
just
gonna
doesn't
get to
happen.
that.
He's more into that's why I'm mad that he left, because it's like I was trying to slowly segue into what do you want from like SK?
Yeah, what do you
like at
want?
this point? What do you want? And because he's gonna say, oh, well, I just think he's a clown. Okay, he's a clown. Can we move on now? Like, what the fuck do you want? Because this is like what the 4th time he comes into this show, and this is the
He's
thing
got a
with USK as
humiliation
well, because
fetish.
you keep doing this too. You keep arguing with him about this stupid shit, and I'm like, oh my god, people want a disagreement day.
Yeah,
I'm
SK,
sick
and-
of fucking Kinoflex.
Well, yeah.
SK, in fairness, part of it is like you kind of engaging when you don't really have
Well, no,
to.
the
like,
point is he's gonna keep going on about it, and he's opening the opportunity to get at least
I
something,
don't-
make some progress. That's why we let him in.
but-
I mean, I gave him an
there's
ultimatum.
There's blame all around. I think there's blame all around. There's blame all around.
Well, no, I
Maybe
gave him an
Kinoflex
ultimatum. I said, all right, either I'm timing you out, or you join VC and we discuss it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. This time, like SK, there's a reason I'm not pulling your hair this time,
No.
because he joined. Dude, if this was him still texting in live chat, I would have fucking torn you apart. Like, I'm so annoyed by that. No, I'm fine with this. He joined, but it's like, dog, like, what does it take for this shit to be over? Why can't we just leave each other alone at this point? He doesn't like us. Cool, we don't like him. Like, I want to move on. I don't care about this guy. He's not even relevant enough to worry about.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm out of what to say.
It's primarily on KinoFlex from what it seems like. I could be wrong. I gotta clarify here. I could be wrong, but I don't understand what prompted him to go into the chat of this stream, and then try to like poke the bear and try to stir up drama. I'm not entirely sure like
Did this
what
3
prompted.
times.
I have no idea why he keeps doing this. It's like, bro, let it go. Just move on, please.
Yeah, we were talking about Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
I'm gonna give this last olive branch if Kino's here. Kino, if you want this to actually end, this is your last shot.
Be a man.
DM SK. Don't DM me, actually. DM SK. Say, let's hash things out on a stream or even off a stream in a VC. And if you offer that, we will gladly accept and actually bury whatever drama we have. At this point, we're ignoring you. And SK, ban him from the fucking chat. Now, please.
If he types again, well, to be fair, he might type something indicating that he's gonna join, right? But I've made it clear to him, if he engages in
And
chat...
DM you. He should just be able to DM you. He DM you, right?
I mean,
well, no,
he's
he
in the
can't, but
servers.
he can join
Well, he's in the
Disagreement
servers.
Day.
He's in the server, so he can just
There you
join the
go,
wait
yeah.
room, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he can join
So,
there.
he's out of
So
here.
then
No
he doesn't
more
really have
chats
to.
from him.
He doesn't really have to be in the YouTube chat then.
Kino, if you don't want to bury that hatchet, fine, but we're moving on. That's the last message I'm giving. We're done.
This is like I haven't even been involved in a whole like in most of these arguments, man. But like this is insufferable.
What's your
Yeah.
disagreement about the Phantom Menace, Southpaw?
My disagreement is what is my motherfucking disagreement?
I have a disagreement.
I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I don't even have a joke that's like.
Well, I have
a
a disagreement with Southpaw.
What's that? Oh, is it about Toy Story 4?
Why do you think Toy Story 4 is the weakest?
Oh, here we go.
Because it's shit and Bo Peep wears pants. Okay, I'm like Shadowversity, I guess. Anyways,
the fuck.
Well, Southpaw, would you like to, now that we're done with Kinoflex, would you like to give an update on the Civil War video that you've been working on? I still haven't read the thing you sent because I was here.
My script is nearing completion. I'm going through it very carefully. I've had to redraft a couple of things, but so far it's structurally very strong. SK's actually been a bit of a help, sort of inadvertently, because I will bring up something to him and SK will make defenses, and I don't think that those defenses will, like, most of the time those defenses aren't really adequately accounting for the criticism. So I can, but that then leads me to I can articulate why that is in the script, because the point is the script for this thing is 90 pages long, and 90 pages as in if I have like the tiniest margins possible on my pages, so it's going to be a very long fucking script. And it's mostly because I have to respond to multiple different types of defenses that are usually mutually exclusive with one another, to multiple things in this movie, and I have to spell out why none of these defenses will actually hold up. And I express frustration, like, if this was Born Again, I wouldn't have to do this, but Civil War is a golden child, and I have to, pull hen's teeth to get people to understand why this is a problem here. And that's fine. I'm willing to do that. Maybe I could try to edit an abridged version that doesn't have to do all that, for everyone who can just like accept that, like, yeah, these are problems here. But I'm sure people will also enjoy the process of me just like gaming this all out and going one defense at a time as I'm going through.
Well, I think something that might be helpful is the idea of kind of splitting it apart, where one, you focus on like the main review, and then you do a follow-up that responds to what people have said.
I like the flow that I have currently, even if it's going to be a very long video, and there will be timestamps too. You can easily jump to like okay, I accept the criticism. I'm going to move on to this next one. Like that will be the case. Of course, this is also going to premiere, and you're not going to have that luxury if you watch the premiere. So there is that. But that's a one-time thing, you know. Like once the premiere is done, you can skip to wherever. Like it'll be easy to do that. It's like my EFAP video, basically. But before today, I could say that EFAP doesn't get mentioned in this video at all. However, I am anticipating people bringing up a couple of things to do with EFAP, and I will address that towards the very, very end of the video. But otherwise, it's not a drama video. It's not related to anything with EFAP. It's just holding Civil War to the same standard that we hold everything else to. So
You should do your own disagreement thing once you release that video.
I should. Yeah.
I mean, you can use the server for it if you're down.
I think that I could definitely handle Civil War Defenders at this point because, I don't think that there is a defense for this movie that I have not heard after 5 years of trying to find possible defenses for certain things about this film that don't really seem to add up. Salva, if you release one video review / essay in 2026, I'll legit donate $50. What if I release two? Is that null and void? Because you say one in all caps, like it has to only be one. But here's the thing: I am going to release this video in December of this year. That is going to happen.
Oh, December 16th.
It is going to happen. Sorry, what?
Already.
December 16th.
December 16th is the goal. I will likely have this thing uploaded and just like privately like it'll be privately uploaded months like ahead of time, but I want to definitely time it with December 16th, and that is 2 days before Doomsday. So I'm sure that it'll help the algorithm too.
Oh, you evil fuck.
Yeah.
that is
already.
Kiwi asks, so I have a video about why Civil War is bad. I'm going to have multiple actually, because the idea is to hopefully also have clips of a watch party with myself, Sheev, and Advocate, which hasn't happened yet. But that will hopefully be in the video, and then I can hopefully upload that as a separate thing. So
already. So to like
Nick.
continue this in a more positive note, we do have one more disagreement. Are you guys ready?
Oh no.
I already hate it.
I'm pretty sure it's another troll from him. It's another troll.
Just give him a chance.
Well, we'll let him go. SoundCloud, what's up? What's your disagreement?
Give him some time. We made him wait. All right. What's up, SoundCloud? What's your disagreement?
Endgame is a good movie.
You're okay. That's a troll.
Oh, that's not troll. That's actually genuine thought.
What?
You're laughing right now while you're saying it.
Well, what argument against Endgame do you disagree with?
I disagree that the time travel stuff is flawed. I disagree that it's not that flawed. Well, a little bit flawed, but not really that flawed.
Okay.
Any further elaboration to why it's not that flawed?
Well, it kind of makes sense in the context that it's pretty much set in a film that if they go back to different timelines in Endgame, basically to get the stones, and they're gonna put them back. So I don't think it's gonna affect too much in the timeline. It's gonna go as same as ever, I suppose, since Captain America did return the stones. And,
I don't think that's a point anyone's made.
Yeah, what point of SK, for example?
Yeah, what's the point that I made that you disagree with?
The point I actually made is that it's a sloppy conclusion, and that's what you said in Twitter, basically.
Yes.
Okay. How about this? SK believes that, and I believe this, that when Captain America goes back to Peggy Carter and like leaves everyone, that's character assassination. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Well, I don't think it's that much of a character assassination. I think in terms of in a conclusion, it makes sense for Steve just to rest, because he's been living in the present time for a long time, and since he actually
Yeah, but this contradicts what he said in Age of Ultron, which you can say it concluded his own an arc of his own, where when Tony asks you know, you all right, and he's like, he's home, and even beforehand he said the version of Steve that wanted to raise a family, like that was already gone, and like he's gone in the ice. So it's essentially setting up the fact that like he's moved on, and that what he wanted in that ending realistically wouldn't and shouldn't happen.
And also the world is like in a mess right now, so you would think that Captain America would be able to help quite a bit. But instead he just throws the mantle onto Sam before he even knows Sam is ready for it or would be accepting of it. Bucky still has a lot of shit to go through when he's just brought back to the world, then he died and has to come back after losing 5 years of his life, like, again. Where he's like, you know, he's basically functionally asleep and then comes back years later. It's happened twice to him. And he's just like, he can handle it, it's fine. Even though he said, I'll be with you till the end of the line. But, whatever.
Alright, what's your response to that?
Well, my response is that Bucky did actually yes, I can agree that being wiped away for 5 years is gonna affect him, but since he actually has a history of handling trauma like that, I feel like he could handle it even if it could affect him this much. And him being a congressman, I mean, would actually, well, do something for him. Exactly, just give him some purpose, I suppose.
I mean, Captain America. No, not that. That's the movie. The fucking show, Falcon and Winter Soldier, shows otherwise. Like he's still kind of struggling with the fact that Steve's gone, and it's mainly to do with the fact that Sam gave away the shield. Because in that, especially in the scene that highlights, maybe he was wrong about you, and if he was wrong about you, then he was wrong about me.
Can I by the way, one more update about the Civil War script, just so people have it, just like maybe a better idea than merely 90 pages.
Huh?
The word count.
Let's just focus on the disagreement first, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry, you remember what was said, Stoneclaw?
Yeah, I said that Bucky could actually, you know, handle trauma by himself. Yes, he may struggle, but this is something that he could actually, like, I don't know, cope with it, and basically he can, you know, well, handle it, I suppose.
Why
It
would
may
Cap
be hard-
rely on that?
No, I'm talking about Bucky, actually.
No, that's what I mean. Why would Cap rely on the idea that Bucky can just handle himself? I thought the whole idea is that they support each other. You know, they don't leave each other behind.
Well, the example I just said literally explains otherwise. He wasn't handling it well.
Yeah, you can't actually know that.
I did not say that he's not gonna struggle with it. I mean, he obviously will struggle of losing his best friend and all. But honestly, sometimes you kind of have to handle the struggle of loss sometimes, and therefore it may be hard, but basically you actually can fight it through it.
I mean, that's like his only friend, really, by this point. I guess besides the Wakandans. But, I mean, he's barely close with them.
Well, I don't know about that. Like, he does have Sam as well.
They're more acquaintances, in fairness.
Yeah, I mean, he has Sam, obviously, so he could actually talk to Sam and all. And since Sam actually is, you know, experienced in, you know, helping people with, you know, coping with trauma and all, I think Sam would actually help Bucky with that, basically. Just cope with it. If Bucky had some struggles. And because in Winter Soldier we did actually see Sam actually consoling with veteran soldiers who have trauma, basically.
Yeah, from the Winter Soldier, I remember that.
Yeah. So he could actually, you know, Bucky.
Okay, hold up. Why is Kaba here?
I don't know.
Bye.
There's enough people here, guys.
Why did you?
All right.
Keep going.
No one booted him. Literally. Okay. All right, PJ. What's your response to that? Or SK? Sam is good at helping with people
I
with
mean,
struggling war heroes.
I
essentially.
don't think that really is relevant because Steve is still like his closest friend that he's ever had. So him just going into the past and living his life there, that's basically to him like losing a friend for good.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really in character for him, especially now when the world is like in a mess. There's a lot he could do to help out.
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree that he could have actually helped out, but in terms of a conclusion, kinda makes sense due to the fact that Steve actually just lost people close to him, and basically yes, he can actually move on. But if we actually see through Steve, he's thinking of Peggy when he pretty much saw her in the window, basically, and the life that he could have had. And since the fight that he has done, he felt like he's actually, done with the fighting, and basically he could actually believe he could rest for good this time. That's what I actually get out of this conclusion. That's what the conclusion actually is alluding to. That's what the conclusion was in Endgame.
I mean, I'm not sure like how that really addresses what I said about how to Bucky it's like basically losing a friend, and that there's still a lot of things that Steve could do to help out the world after it's in this it's in the circumstances that it's in.
Yeah.
And like if you agree that he still could have helped out, and like, cause I don't think Captain America is the type to just give up. That's a large point made since the first Avenger.
Yeah, I believe the points that you said are true. And the more I think about it, I feel like Endgame does actually have a sloppy conclusion. But that's just, my view of what I view the conclusion. Well, being a good conclusion for Captain America. That's just my view. Like, yeah. And
all right, SoundCloud. I guess all we can say is we're glad that you found enjoyment in the ending.
Yeah, but what are your
Sadly, we
thoughts
just
on
don't feel the same.
conclusion in Endgame?
Sorry?
Iron Man's conclusion, like Tony Stark's conclusion of
It was shit.
That's a whole nother
That's not a
can of worms.
disagreement.
I think I'm just gonna move on from the disagreement because we are reaching the end. I do want to like drop some updates for people. So.
Oh,
yeah,
so you want to drop parting gifts?
Thank you for showing up, SoundCloud.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Thank you for not trolling this time.
I'm glad to be here. Thank
Well,
you so much.
Awesome.
See you later.
We'll let the C in for now just to chill. What's up, C? Oh, C is dead.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of at this point. I think we're just chilling. I'm just gonna. I was kind of going on the whole thing of like everyone giving their updates, but we got kind of sidelined with a final disagreement, which is fine. But for those that don't know, Southpaw is working on a Civil War video. He's getting closer and closer to tightening that up. I'm in the halfway point of my rewatch of Civil War. I got way too tired, so I couldn't continue today. I'll finish it later tonight. But if you're curious what I think about Civil War right now, I think it's the weakest in the Captain America trilogy. But I think it overall I think the weaknesses have to do with its plot, mostly in the second half. What I'm noticing is that in the first half that I saw, it seems all right as far as like the plot goes, but I remember most of my issues being in like the second half that I talked about with Southpaw. Yeah, so far I think I would give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I think the strengths are mostly in like the character writing. That's where I'd say most of the strengths are. Yeah, I don't think it really compares to Winter Soldier or First Avenger. I rewatched First Avenger recently, and my enjoyment for that has like skyrocketed. Like I think it's one of the better.
It's the best Captain America movie.
Yes.
I would give
I'm
that
of that
to
opinion,
Winter
yeah.
Soldier. But I think they're both
So
pretty
you
good.
wanna be a crowd follower? That's okay, SK. That's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay, SK. That's
Fucking
okay.
sheep.
So you just watched Civil War and your take is like a 5 or a 6 out of 10?
No. I'm halfway through the watch, but I got like too tired, so I had to take a break. Because sleep schedule's getting screwed up.
Okay.
But yeah, so First Avenger.
That's fine. There. Oh, good. Sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna say is I think First Avenger is solid 8 out of 10. Winter Soldier probably still at a 9. Civil War is probably a 5 or a 6. I'm noticing that most of the problems I have are gonna be in the second half rather than the first half.
So my take on the First Avenger is the first act of the movie, 9 out of 10. Fucking love it. It's almost flawless.
That's great.
It falls apart once we get into Act 2.
Yep.
That's like I have a bit of a more I guess critical standard than SK does. I think that I'm a little bit less forgiving when it comes to certain things. I'm a lot more willing to criticize plot armor than he does. Like based on recent experience with like how we discuss certain things, I would say that like I have I think like my standard is still closer to like what EFAPs would be regarding plot armor. Like regardless of what I think of them as critics, like if we like follow the standard that they had set at the very beginning, that's kind of like where I still am. I'm still consistent with that. And it's fine if SK has a different standard, but it's a different standard. My take is that Civil War is a 4 out of 10 on a good day. It's a 3 out of 10 generally. I think that there's a lot of things about it that there's a lot of redeeming qualities in it, but there's a lot of those same redeeming qualities in other MCU movies that we will eagerly call bad. And a lot of the things that are bad about those MCU movies are also in Civil War. Now, granted, it's not on the same scale like Multiverse of Madness or Quantumania or Love and Thunder or Daredevil Born Again. But
Quantumania.
Yeah, like I don't hate Civil War. I think that Civil War is a very watchable, entertaining movie. Doesn't make it good. And I want people to be honest about what tier it belongs to in like when we talk about entertainment. It doesn't belong on the same pedestal with like Spider-Verse or I even say it doesn't even belong in the same tier as Spider-Man 2, and that's a movie that I'm infamous for criticizing the shit out of. So
well, no, you were right about Spider-Man 2. Fuck Spider-Man 2.
But the thing is that like the thing is, right, that like even with my like my criticisms of Spider-Man 2, like I would still say it's better than Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, if we're curious, I'm at 1 hour and 10 minutes. If I were to just like speed run what I think, so this is a small thing that I want to like fact check later. I'm noticing like there's like a key that they use and a code that they put for something like in the bunker at the beginning of Civil War. So then I immediately thought, wait, why doesn't Zemo have that or need that to get in the bunker? What happened? I don't know. That's just a thought. I'm not definitive on. Let's see. Fight.
So it's like that's not even a criticism that I think of. Like this is the thing. Like we probably just have generally different points about this movie altogether. Because I thought that like the code was included in that little book that he gets from Karpov.
The code was included in the book. Yeah, I guess potentially. Sure.
That's what I assumed.
All right, that's fair. The one that stood out to me in this opening fight was Black Widow's plot armor is bad.
Well, so actually, there's also some closing the distance that Crossbones goons do to Cap as well, like when he first engages.
Yeah, that one I noticed that, but I would also say like by technicality, I don't think it would have changed the outcome because he has the shield. But with Natasha, she does not have anything, so she's screwed.
Yeah. Well, also, it's 2 guys that close the distance on Cap, and it's 9 that close the distance on Natasha.
Yeah, so I remember looking at the scene. She's on the motorcycle. She drops it. There's like 5 or something different, or 3. Okay, there's 3. Then there's more. There's so many people with guns that just don't shoot at her. I think that's like a big problem in this fight.
Here's the thing about firearms. They're very useful for shooting someone from a range, from a safe range. And Natasha is not armed with, well, she has the taser darts, but she uses those exactly once. She's mainly using her kung fu skills and everything. She's not actually using
you're such
kung
a
fu, but
fucking idiot. Like, why would you think a gun would be used for long range? You're supposed to use them like clubs.
yeah, they literally just like run up so that Natasha's able to like without shooting at her, mind you. I don't think that they fire a single shot at her. I think that there's at least a couple of guys who try to shoot at Kappa. He's got the shield, but like no one shoots at Nat for for good reason, because there's no ways you can block.
I'm gonna keep trying to speedrun it real quick. Yeah, so there's a moment where Sam is goofing around too much with some quips or whatever. I think it's weird in the situation. He shouldn't be doing that. I already talked about why I think the flashback scene with Tony and his parents didn't age well, considering the
That's not even a criticism that I make, by the way. That I'm not even accounting for that in my critique.
Yep. Let's see what else. Most of this is good. Well, okay. Something I find weird about the Accords thing, they don't mention the Hulk versus Hulkbuster fight. I don't know why that wouldn't have been mentioned. That is the best thing they could use to make their case.
So it's funny. So there's actually 2 instances. Like there was another instance from Age of Ultron that I thought of too. Soul, where sure it might not be to the same scale as the Hulkbuster fight, but like given like that the thing that happens with the train at the very end, like end of that sequence, and it's like, listen, if we're to believe that they are responsible for everyone who dies in Sokovia because they are responsible for Ultron being created, which they are, the same thing would apply to Soul as well. Maybe. The funniest thing though is that both neither Soul nor Johannesburg are listed like you know how there's like a map with like a bunch of different like yellow dots that like this is where like an incident basically happens, right? So there is a dot in Africa, but it's Lagos, obviously, but there isn't a dot where Johannesburg is, and there is no dot in like anywhere in Korea.
Yeah,
so,
I'm fine with Soul not being used just because it's kind of standard compared to the rest, but I think Johannesburg, it is indefensible that they don't bring that up. It's weird.
It's crazy. And by the way, I heavily disagree with their usage of New York and DC, especially given that in the case of New York, the government was going to nuke the city, and we're only thwarted because of the Avengers. So the fact that here's the thing too. Maybe the government could use this in the montage. The main issue is none of the Avengers who are against the Accords, who were also there and would naturally be thinking about this, ever bring up, why does the government think that they should be in control of us when they wanted to nuke New York? Not a single character brings that up. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to speed breeze through this.
I'm so sorry.
Because I got some stuff to do, but we'll have larger conversations about this later. I don't want to turn this into a huge tangent. Let's see. There's some stupid shit in the chase with the shooting and how they do it pretty close to civilians.
Keep distance.
Yeah, there's parts where they just run up. It's unfortunately a thing in all 3 Captain America movies, mostly with Civil War. Let's see. Don't have a problem with this, not this, not this.
I don't have it so. I will say every time that there's just 2 characters talking to each other, it's good. The dialogue's good.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Writing dialogue and then leaving that up to the actors to turn in a competent performance, which they all do, is different from writing the story. That's the connecting tissue that tethers all of these sequences together. That is what's going to determine whether the movie is good. Like, there can be a movie with like, there can be these good dialogue scenes, but like if the connecting tissue doesn't hold up, I can't say the movie is good. As like, it's a pretty poorly written plot that has good dialogue in a lot of scenes that are like just stitched together by shoelaces and a dream.
Let me see. I forgot what I was gonna mention. Oh yeah, so the security for the fact that they're bringing in Steve, Falcon, and Bucky at the same time, kind of weird that they don't have at least one like superhuman there, or at least someone who's fully armed, like at least Iron Man with his suit on standby. Because I get that Rhodey is like busy with some cleanup. Vision has to keep Wanda from leaving, but I mean they could have had Iron Man in the suit, which would make sense if they're holding super soldiers, but whatever.
That would drastically change the Berlin sequence.
The prison where they're at the prison at Berlin. I think it's weird that they have very little security for this.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I think I forgot one. Oh yeah, Vision in the beginning. I don't know why he wasn't there. They didn't explain that. The Zemo thing.
Oh yeah, that one's like a classic one too. Like that was a criticism ever since the beginning of the movie. Like, where was Vision?
Yeah. Zemo's, or sorry, before I even get to the Zemo, Nick Fury not being in this movie at all, I think that's a problem. Or no mention of him. I don't know. He felt the need to, step in Age of Ultron and have a conversation with his team, try to set them straight. He says nothing in this movie. That's weird.
I don't mention that at all in my
across the board.
Well, I was gonna say that's not in my script. I don't even account for that. If you think that's fine, but like that's not even being counted in my score.
Gotcha.
I think across the board, the disappearance of Nick Fury through the MCU after Age of Ultron is very fucking weird. Like, dude
I feel like
has a lot of pull.
I feel like Nick Fury would definitely look into the Sokovia Accords if it happened. So yeah, I think that's really strange.
Yeah. Zemo getting in the facility, I think like just for the mere fact they'd probably have like fingerprint or biometrics to like even get in. It's like, yeah, I don't see how he's able to pull this off.
There's more to it than that, but yes.
Yeah. I left off at like 110, so that's most of like what I have to say as far as like the issues. So far this is looking like a 7, but as a whole, I think it's probably like a 5 or 6. That could change as I go through the rest, but just to mention a few things that bugged me, just going over them. Vision like is floating in the air in Civil War in like the airport fight, and then he just gets shot by one of Hawkeye's arrows, and he just stands there like a dumbass, and he's just taken out of the fight.
So in the big shot where like the 12 heroes are all like charging towards each other, right? It's really funny because Vision's flying towards, and then he stops for whatever reason to look around, and then he gets shot by a trick arrow, and then we don't see him for like another couple of minutes in the fight. It's really weird.
Yeah, that's
like this. Listen, the airport fight plays like Team Iron Man like has the airport fight like locked down if Vision just locks the fuck in. Okay.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, I think there's quite a bit of issues in the airport fight. I think there's issues in the final fight that indicate, Iron Man should have won. I think Iron Man should have won that fight, but there's a lot to get into. I don't think I'll have the time for that. But yeah,
America doesn't stand a chance, even with Bucky. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I just wanted to like get a few of those things out as we were going through updates. Yeah. With that said, as far as content updates on the channel, TK is almost done with the Deadpool and Wolverine video. It's been going pretty well.
Took him long enough.
I'm the better editor.
You listen. You're both show offs, all right?
I'm the better editor.
I really I really wish that like when Jack was like crashing out, I should have just like looked up the Wolverine speech from Deadpool and Wolverine and just like read it out and just like kept on reading it and getting louder and louder and louder.
But yeah, after Deadpool and Wolverine, now I also finished the script for the Wonder Woman video because I think that movie is horrible. And I've also recorded
finally
the
someone
audio.
said it.
Yeah. I think this is a hot take. I'm pretty sure, but
Yeah.
Wonder Woman at the time it was released is the worst written DCEU movie.
I wouldn't say.
You just hate women.
You know what?
At the time,
hold on.
I'd have to rewatch it.
Wait. I need
Hold
to
on.
ask SK a really important question.
All right, make
What
it quick.
timestamp are you on in Civil War again?
110. Ah! 110.
110. 110. 110.
All right, sorry, Zelpa. What are you saying?
Regarding Wonder Woman 1 being the worst DCEU film at the time of its release, I think that you might be correct because I remember the DCEU arc of EFAP movies started with Wonder Woman 1984. We started with Wonder Woman 2017, and then we started and then we watched Wonder Woman 1984, and then we watched Man of Steel, and then BVS, and then Suicide Squad. And I'm pretty sure that like while Wonder Woman 84 was like the worst by default, I'm pretty sure that like Wonder Woman was like right behind it basically.
Yeah, like
I think that was our ranking.
I think the thing that the thing that makes me believe that it's the worst is that I think she's the worst protagonist of all the ones we've seen. Like, sure, you could say Superman's being reckless. You could say Batman and his executions, that's not well written. And you could say with the Suicide Squad in 2016, that they're not, all that well developed. Sure. Wonder Woman, they basically imply Wonder Woman was fine with letting the Holocaust, every single genocide out there that's happened since World War One.
Well,
every single war out there, every single atrocity, she just did nothing about it.
Well, that's not the only reason why she's the worst protagonist. She's also played by a Zionist.
True.
So,
yeah. I mean, I mentioned in the video that canonically speaking, she allowed the Holocaust to happen, the Cambodian genocide to happen, the Palestine genocide to happen, which is like, well,
I mean,
maybe that's in character,
yeah.
but
hold on. They cast an Israeli actress to play a woman who lets the Holocaust happen. What do they mean by this?
what do they mean by this? Yeah. It's like that alone. It's like, okay, say what you will about Batman in the DCEU, Superman in the DCEU, even Flash in the CW. At least they fucking showed up. Like, at least they showed up, even if they're being idiots or bad at what they do. She just left for like a century. And I thought about this, like, wow, this is horrible. And they don't even like condemn this or critique the character for it. The film doesn't even point this out. That's like, wow.
Quick question. Is it possible, like just playing devil's advocate here, is it possible, like, is it confirmed that World War II and like the Holocaust actually happened in the DCEU prior to Wonder Woman being released?
I think it is decently implied for a couple reasons. One is that she mentions like that there have been atrocities within history in I think both of the movies. I know she says something about it in BVS, and she talks
That doesn't confirm
like
Hitler specifically though.
Well, like what I read from that is right. When she refers to human atrocities, man-made atrocities that have happened within history, they're kind of relying on us using our knowledge of history to kind of fill in those blanks, and I think that's a reasonable thing to infer about.
My baseline I typically use for fantasy movies is like, while certain things can deviate, I'd say the deviations need to be made a point of, and if they're not made a point of, it's just, I think, reasonable enough to just infer that they happen. So if we have the modern world and it seems like today, and everything plays out how it generally would in the modern day, the same lingo is intact, the same technology is intact, I would just assume that history has pretty much been the same in terms of stuff like World War II and stuff, because that's kind of what started the modern period.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I like that's just even if we exclude like stuff like World War II, right? They do mention that there's been atrocities regardless, and you can argue that the consequences of the world engine would actually be worse because that was like the entire world, and she still wasn't going to get involved in that. So
they cast an Israeli woman to play a superhero who lets 9/11 happen. What do they mean by that?
What did they mean by that? But yeah, that's probably the main reason why I'm like, yeah, I think this one's just clearly the worst. As far as like the main character, there's other issues that I have with it, especially with like the world building and how it establishes the history of like everything in the world. It's awful. But yeah, that's something that I'm working on. Also working on videos on TASM 1 and 2. For the fun of it. I watched it recently with the media detective who's in chat. I think TASM 1 it's pretty standard. It's like standard bad. It's not that bad, but it's not great at all.
Hopefully SK cancels the Sonic Adventure 2 video because I don't want to fucking do that video. I don't want to do that video.
TASM 2 is like beyond redemption. Wow. Horrible. There is a certain podcast that I am gonna respond to. There's a certain podcast I'm gonna respond to that has defended it after I make that video.
A podcast which has exploited a grooming victim, by the way.
Yeah, fun
fact. And caused a whole fucking war between me and SK. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were just some updates I wanted to drop.
Wait, SK, hold on. You're leaving out one very important update.
Oh, am I forgetting something?
Yeah, you're forgetting something. And you told me this privately. You can give me shit for this later. SK is working on another response to Mosquito on Cape Demon Hunters. Ain't that right, SK?
That's not what I
Ain't
said.
that right, SK?
That is not what I said.
Okay,
I said
I'm so proud of you.
I said I'm leaving
I'm so proud of you.
I said I'm leaving that in Kairito's hands. That is a false allegation.
I fucking hate you so goddamn much, man.
But yeah, yeah, sorry, go on.
I thought it was hilarious how when Kinoflex was here, he was complaining about how like you aren't like responding to woke people, and you just bring up when you respond to this. He was like, okay, well it's not proportional. Like he just kept moving the goalposts. I'm like, it was the most pathetic fucking display
that was sad.
I've ever seen from him. And there was some
really wish I could be there.
It's like
It's
if
so
there's
weird
more
because
stuff
SK
like that, then I would respond. I just haven't seen as much.
SK is really well known for hating the whole propaganda narrative shit that keeps getting spread in media.
Oh, that one's fucking stupid. Anyone who makes that argument for stuff like Spider-Man or superheroes and stuff, I think those kinds of people really need to just get a grip on fucking reality. Like, there's a case to be made for fucking garbage like Zootopia, but like Spider-Man, the vigilante, fuck yourself.
I didn't watch Zootopia. I did watch Zootopia.
Yeah, it's shit. It's a fucking terrible movie, and I don't know why. I don't know why people don't really understand how fucking terrible it is. It's kind of amazing.
See, it has a fan base because of furry porn. Let's be honest.
I'm gonna,
I know that, but like,
I'm gonna watch it just so I can watch the sea attack it because that'd be entertaining. But yeah, like,
that's actually a really fun video. of mine.
Wait, what? Wait, SK,
wanna...
are you saying you didn't watch Zootopia yet?
Shut the fuck up. But I do want to address what Skid said, because he said the DCEU wiki has confirmed that World War II happened. That's true. In Wonder Woman 84, they confirmed that it did happen.
Oh, another thing, by the way, for people who want to know more about my Civil War video, I am going to have a lot, and I mean a lot, of reaction visuals and reaction clips from a TV show I started last year and have rewatched over and over and over again. It has quickly surpassed like Terriers and Breaking Bad as like my favorite show ever, okay? And its second season is currently ongoing. In fact, the 6th episode of its second season airs tomorrow. This show is called The Pit. It's a medical drama. I'm not normally into medical dramas. I fucking love The Pit. It's a great show. It is actually lauded by several doctors on YouTube as the most accurate medical drama to date. And it's basically, imagine if the show 24 was like real-time format, because it's a real-time show basically. Each episode is an hour of a single shift. It's really fucking good.
I'm
JM
looking to
and Media
watch it.
Detective are
Into the
like I recently got JM into it and he
Liam,
fucking
shut the.
loved it.
Oh my! I'm gonna kill you, bro. Sorry.
Um,
So yeah, there's
Oh, yeah,
there will be lots, like you will get a lot more out of the video if you also watch the pit at some point before that video comes out.
Skid says they also confirm it in the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Yep, I remember that now. But yeah, so yeah, now on to Comic Legend. What are the updates for League Entertainment? What do we have cooking? Because we already seen, I already saw the JJ plagiarisms one early. If you don't know, Liam responded to his Empire Strikes Back review. Man.
The Empire, they were not good at showing how evil the Empire is. They just blew up a planet, guys.
They just blew up a planet and just like incinerated an elderly couple in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
They should have complied with ICE. I mean, the stormtroopers.
But yeah, what do you got planned?
There's a video responding to someone defending Luke from The Last Jedi, but it's more current, nearly 10 years later.
Oh, stupid people.
I can't wait for that video to come out. That's gonna be really
Who
funny.
made that video?
It was some guy named Star Wars Centralized.
Oh, if they have Star Wars in the name, it's going to be a fun time.
It's either really horrible or really informed about Star Wars. It's never in between.
No, it's usually just horrible.
So there's that video coming out. Skids is planning on making a video on Fallout Season 2 because he hates that show. I don't know shit about Fallout, so...
All I know is that TK and Skids are mad about it.
Actually,
Yeah,
speaking of
they
Star
can meld
Wars, I
together.
saw my longtime friend Star Wars Hour was in the chat earlier.
Oh,
Dude, that
nice.
was so funny. The moment I saw him, I'm like, you're that guy who responded to Sheev that one time about
Yeah.
moving an X-Wing or something.
He responded
What a
to me too.
coincidence.
Yeah, he responded to my Dave Filoni video, which was funny because he didn't actually address any of my points. He addressed only my friend Airborne's points, which was very weird because he like tagged me with it and everything and was telling me that he was making a response. And I was like, all right, cool stuff, man. And his points were awful, as to be expected from a Star Wars creator.
He's a nice guy. He was nice.
He's a nice look. I'll say it. He's a nice guy. I just think his standards are very, very lacking, and in general across the board, his arguments leave a lot to be desired. So no shade to the guy. I just wish he would have better arguments.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm thinking about doing. I want to get into video game reviews because ever since I have more time on my hands, I want to like review like a video game, see if I can like do analysis on stuff like that. I
Nice.
might do something really easy. Like I'm thinking about doing it on The Force Unleashed.
Do me a favor, don't do Secret of the Mimic.
Why would I do it on Five Nights at Freddy's? That's baby horror.
Alrighty. Well, if the C, you got any updates that you want to share while you're here?
I'm like semi-retired from YouTube, so like if a video comes out, you guys are lucky.
Same.
Retired.
Retarded.
Alrighty.
You know what? That reminds me, guys. The Captain America Civil War video has a title. Are you guys ready to hear it? It's a very.
God damn it.
It is. Oh, and SK made such an amazing fucking thumbnail for it too. I will actually send that in the Disagreement Day chat.
Well,
like,
should that be teased? Should that be teased? To build hype.
I am fine. I am fine with announcing it. It's fine.
Okay.
Here's the thumbnail, and the title is Captain America Civil War is highly regarded.
What?
That is SK's thumbnail. That is SK's handiwork. He did such an amazing fucking job. That's like
that is golden.
That is probably my favorite thumbnail for any video so far.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a meme. That's totally gonna be a meme. Dude, honestly, that's the thing I've learned is the best thing you could do with thumbnails is design them in mind of being taken out of context and used as a meme. So when I made my Hasbin Hotel Alistair video, I wanted that one to be the most rage bait inducing fucking, like, it just has Alistair and it just has racist with a question mark.
Yeah, like the Phantom Menace is terrible. Am I right, SK?
If you laugh, you go to Israel.
Alrighty, well, I guess PJ, do you have any updates you want to share on your end? Because I know you're editing for Kairito.
Me and Kairito are doing the K-pop video. If Procreate isn't being a lazy asshole, he'll fucking send me the audio so I can edit his videos. Hopefully I'll go back to doing FNAF. Well, no, not FNAF. Fuck FNAF right now. I'll go back to doing animations whenever I can. If any of you need editing, please hire me. I need payment.
Get a job. Seriously.
I am. I work in 2 weeks. Fuckstick.
Oh.
Why'd you hang up?
No.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
something
Well,
I cannot say publicly.
Sis.
Can I say something really fucking racist right now, or like get in trouble for that?
Well, you can, but you will not have freedom of consequences.
I want to hear it now.
All right, clipping software is ready. Sorry, what was that?
Well, no, I gotta make sure we're not fucking live right now.
Oh no, we still are.
Yeah, no. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not saying it.
Well then, beforehand, since everybody has gotten their updates out, consider this my parting gift to the stream. All right, have a great rest of your night.
Is it over?